Paul Kitty, like she's gonna quit. It concerns me for her, honestly, as a Christian. Honestly, wonder if she is doomed, and that's a shame.
If she's doomed?
I'd say she's doomed.
Well,
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Everybody gets a redemption arc.
I'm okay. I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about the fact that she wants to kill us.
Right. And other people.
I've engaged with her before, by the way. She's extremely bloodthirsty. And other people, absolutely, right.
Yeah. Do you think some of it was for show, though? I think she was kind of...
Do I think what? Do I take her literally?
Well, I thought some of it was for show. I didn't know.
I take
Is it for show? She's that evil. Okay, so she's full of sin.
There's a non-trivial percentage of our society and our world that is enthusiastic about killing people with whom they disagree. And to justify this, they'll call them Nazis. In the case of the Jews, they'll accuse us of genocide, or they'll call the Jews Nazis in a enlightening reversal. They'll call Charlie Kirk, they'll use this word, or they'll use something like it. You just heard her. She's an extreme example, but she said he deserved what he got. In other words, people with whom she disagrees deserve to die, deserve to be killed, deserve to be assassinated, shot. It's quite obscene.
And see, Norm, that's why I really appreciate you, and I need people like you around me, because I always want to save people and give them, and I need people to remind me of that, so thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm not happy to bring this news. I've been in these rooms before. There are people walking around today on No King's Day, and again, forgive me for even articulating this. They have this feeling towards the President of the United States.
Is it well attended? Is it crowded?
I don't know. In my neck of the woods, it was very crowded. It's a beautiful day too. I don't know. I didn't look for any statistics, but judging from the people around me, very well attended. Men, women. It was just like Black Lives Matter, because there's no pandemic, even more people were around. It was massive.
You know what else was well attended that I learned today happened?
What?
KKK clan bake. They had lots of family events and outings and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. They didn't have that in New York.
They had big picnics and things.
Did you say like KKK?
Yeah, KKK clan bake. I learned about
Oh yeah,
that
they
today.
have them here. They have them here all the time in North Carolina.
Are they well attended now, Francie? I thought there was only a couple thousand of them around.
Oh no. So like the ones here, it's a pretty small group. And they do like a lot of family events, picnics, like you said, clam bakes, I don't know, things like that. Around 2000, right around the George Floyd time, they came through town and they had flyers that said, "We're watching you," and they took a lollipop and a piece of tape and taped the lollipop to the flyer that said, "We're watching you," and they went through and put it on a lot of people's houses, Black people's houses, and it scared people a lot, but since then, they called me because I was working for the newspaper, and they wanted me to do an article on them, and I was going to get a meet with the the Grand Wizard or whatever, and but I couldn't write the article. I just said no, I'm not going to do it. So yeah, but they're here.
So, great words from Matthew McConaughey. Do we want to keep the room open a little while longer and talk more about how Charlie Kirk is not the demon that many people need him to be? Or do we want to head over to a social?
We can head over over to the social. I'm getting a lot of crap for not being there.
Yeah, I'm ready to.
Let's fix that.
What does this mean you're talking about now? Head over to the social. A room with different entrance criteria?
Yep.
You can go with me, Norm.
Edie's got a social room going and got snatched.
Say this again?
Norm, you can go as my date.
I can what?
Will you go as my date? Go together.
It's very thoughtful. How about his friend?
That's kind of what I meant.
Okay. I don't know where we're going though, and I'm not making any commitments.
Okay, we're going to go snatched. You're welcome to join us over there.
Okay, yeah, I saw this. Okay,
Let's go.
what does this mean? Use 44 for, what does that mean?
People be wilding out, use 44 for the sign up link. I have no idea. There's no telling with those people. We just don't know. Let's go see.
Fred, can you put the room in the chat?
Yeah. Monica, you want to go grab the link? Because she's going to need the link. She can't see the room. Maybe get her in the house. Okay, Jibby. All right, we'll see y'all over there. You!
I'm pissed the fuck off right now.
Great.
Well, good morning. I ain't saying that.
Fuck you.
may have, in the complaint, he destroyed the rugs, carpeting, the AC, floors, took several items. I was very worried about interacting with him in person. Additionally, during the deep cleaning, found several substance packages. He would regularly talk to himself. He would also not respond to hellos or hand gestures. He was a less than desirable guest. In the complaint, he destroyed the rugs, carpeting, the AC floors, took several items. I was very worried about interacting with him in person. Additionally, during the deep clean, I found several substance packages. He would regularly yell and talk to himself, and he would also not respond to hellos or hand gestures. He was a less than desirable guest and given 1 star. I've cleaned as much as possible, but I do agree there is a strong odor now in the unit. Most likely from him and his dog. There were several urine spots in the kitchen. Photos sent. As far as mold, I did not recognize any. He left a black slime. Alright, Lawrence, I do have an odorizer. The mattress. But I do believe that the entire carpeting is going to have to be replaced. I would like to update $2,000. Hi Lawrence, I do have an deodorizer machine that we can flip the mattress, but I do believe that the entire carpet is going to be replaced. Against the fiberglass net to cover the repair and replacement of the carpeting and part of the flooring, which are most likely causing the smell. Do reflect the damage and faucets. The rugs were all washed, but there were urine stains in them as well. Hi Caroline, I'm letting them know. much apologize. Do very much apologize. Oh, hi Caroline, I'm messaging with Lawrence agreement. I do very much apologize. Hi Caroline, I'm messaging with Lawrence agreement. What happened here? His phone died. Hi Caroline, I'm messaging with Lawrence agreement. Hopefully get this resolved as soon as possible. I do very much apologize. Fuck. Trying to bring you some Clubhouse Live while I do some yoga. Man, this phone is fried. It's cooked. Please let me know. I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to flip the mattress and run the deodorants, but I think that unless I steam clean the carpeting, the odor will persist. It will take me at least 24 hours to get a carpet steaming completed. At this point, I'm going to have to completely remove all the carpeting. Redo entirely. At this point, I'm going to have to completely remove all the carpeting from the floor and redo entirely because of the floor against it. Please let me know how else I can be of assistance. Carpeting. Oh, no. Persistent stench. Oh no. Is this phone charging? What is going on over here? Yeah. Dealing with an Airbnb issue. I thought I had it fixed, but I think I detected what she's talking about, and I think I see in the photos how, like, no. Just a potato. No, just a potato. all good. It's all good.
Hello, Moto.
It's really fun. No. Oh no. Oh no. I've fully explained the problem to Lawrence, but he is not responding. Is he helping you find alternative accommodations? I've fully explained the problem to Lawrence, but he is not responding. Is he helping you find alternative accommodations? And I fear that it might not still be enough. It would take me 24 hours to get a steam carpet cleaning, and I fear that it might not still be enough to get rid of the odor. files a complaint against the last guest and requested $2,000 damages to make the repairs and replacements. Hopefully, Airbnb will be able to credit you a significant portion of your reservation. I do very much apologize for this inconvenience. Go ahead, solve the clues. Now, please update me if you need more on this once again shortly. Sucks, man. Fuck. Jesus. Ay, vey. Ay, vey. I tried. Disgusting people. Dog urine, it requires total cleanup. I mean, I'm gonna have to like
and then experience nature and then
rip out all the carpeting, and like then do a deep clean, and then reseal it.
What
And
about
do the
it?
whole
Did you
floor.
connect with? And she said it was a sigil. I said, okay, what happened? She said, well, she goes,
That's why they're cutting it in half and flipping it around.
Yeah. So if you look at this, like the surgery is called double jaw surgery, but there's a special variant of it that they do in Korea called double jaw V-line surgery. And the whole point of that surgery, like if you look at pictures of Korean people that are about 100 years old, right? You'll see that a lot of Koreans have very big jaws, even the women. They have very big, very square jaws. So this surgery cuts down the side of the jaw, cuts down the middle of the lower jaw, takes out a slice of it, shifts the jaw back into the space that the slice created, staples the front jaw to the back part, then cuts down the chin part, and then shifts the chin part down.
it's very cultural appropriate for somebody in Korea to give to us.
But yeah,
But if you didn't know the details of the surgery,
no. The
do you
point of
like
my
how it
being-
looks or not? Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's culturally appropriate. That's not like it's genetic. It's cultural appropriate in Korea to give
Dude,
somebody.
I'm trying to make a point, please.
I'm adding a little bit.
Yeah, but you're speaking over me completely.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is that, like,
You guys talk over her, she'll go on for 17 hours.
So the results of this surgery, right? It takes a person who had a completely different face shape and gives you a person who has a totally different, like, so somebody who had a square face, it gives that person like an oval V-shaped face, right? And it makes their face much smaller than it really was. Now you see somebody like that, you get married, your kid's gonna look completely different.
No, if I'm with a woman personally, I need to see her before and after pictures of anything. I need to see how she has to be comfortable enough with me to show me her baby pictures growing up. Even if I don't care about it, but I need to see I need to know that's part of me getting to know her. That's
You don't want genetically inferior children.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is just how it is. For example,
Yeah, but Joey, let me ask you this though. Isn't it don't you see a pattern of like when two extremely good-looking people come together and have a kid?
Their kid is ugly.
Yeah, bro.
I've seen that before.
You need like one that's kind of off a little.
Is that what happened with your parents, Mike?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before, but I think what I've noticed.
Attractive. I'm talking about
I think what I've noticed, like, you have to have like a series of.
Go ahead, Luke. Just the one mic on Luke.
What Sugar Billy was talking about, okay, what if somebody did this and they lost weight and da. So part of what I don't like in a woman is the fact that she needs cosmetic things that it's gonna cost maybe $5,000 or however much it's gonna cost to lose weight. I need the work ethic of knowing that you can lose weight whenever you want to lose weight.
I'm sorry,
Because at the end of the day, to reciprocate into, or it's gonna what's that echo effect into internet you're gonna have to.
No, I'm sorry, but that is
the woman of your kids, your wife is the one that's gonna instill a lot, especially if you have a daughter. She's gonna instill a lot of values into your daughter. I don't want to have a daughter that thinks she can take the shortcut under the knife.
Well,
wait, yeah, that doesn't make much sense. I'm not saying Michael, just go.
I was gonna say maybe a more polite word that I would have or could have is that, okay, so in the hypothetical, this person was awkward and sort of ugly, whatever you consider ugly, heavy, whatever. They did all the right things. They worked out. They did it all naturally. They got to the point at which you see all those ratios as like really good looking. My thing is in the back of your head, it's like, if you fast forward a while, is there a chance of reverting back? Because genetically it's there. She works,
I
the
agree
person
with
works
that.
hard, they keep doing the things, but when you let up at some point, it's like, oh, we're gonna get back to.
I think Sykes put it for me in a more polite way. Sorry about how rude I was, maybe.
Yeah, sorry, I was just gonna go to Mike. So I don't agree with like when men say something about like, oh, taking easy out or whatever. Women's bodies, when it comes to retaining fat, work slightly differently from men's bodies. Our hormones are cyclical, and like our bodies try to have lots of fat because we need the fat to do things like have children, breastfeed children, successfully sustain pregnancy, and so
this is all factored into man's biological attraction.
Can I finish?
This is already factored into.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Thank you. So what I'm saying is that like losing weight for men is fairly easy because not only that, but men have more muscle mass, and like if you have more muscle, it's easier to lose weight. So if you notice, you see like a man and a woman, they both start trying to do the same things, trying to lose weight. The man's progress is a lot faster than the woman's progress, and that's because of biological differences. That doesn't mean that women can't lose weight. It doesn't mean that women can't make the effort to lose weight. It doesn't mean they can't do all of this stuff. But what I'm saying is like it's kind of weird when you're just like, oh, like you're a guy. Like you're never going to experience what it's like trying to lose weight and your body is fighting you every step of the way. Like you're never going to experience what that's like.
That's the whole point. If you're a woman, obviously everything you said is taken under consideration. This comes a part of natural male attraction. For example, what you said about women storing more fat than men. I'm not saying that a man wants a woman that has the same body fat as him. That's actually unattractive, to be honest. Because that comes across as I don't know about any other man in the room, but I'm pretty sure most people can agree with me that it comes across as a bit masculine. Nobody wants a woman that is very vascular with veins popping out everywhere, okay, with high muscle definition, unless it's for a certain utility. Let's say, I don't know, you guys are living in a very remote place, this, that, the other, and there's a utility for that. But generally, people like proportions. Proportion doesn't have to do with, okay, body fat plays a factor, but the woman's natural body fat, where the fat deposits, that's a part of that. So you said higher body fat than men, the different hormones and things like that. That's part of it. Some women have a natural body fat that deposits at their thighs, the hips, the breasts, when they add more body weight. That's part of attraction too. Okay, yeah, she's active and she's keeping up with me. Her natural genetic physique. That's something that's very fatal in terms of biology.
Yeah, it's also attractive. So
I'm just going to say
everyone's
that, like,
definition of
also,
attractive is different.
Yeah, like what men find attractive. I mean, women. Yes, there are some universals, but what men find attractive and like how women look kind of changes from time period to time period and society to society. It's funny because it's like I don't know. When I came to the room, I think Huey was talking about how like he would never date somebody who's fat or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like given for like where we are in society today, but you go to a place like Mauritania, and all the men there are obsessed with like obese women. I don't mean like fat, chubby, maybe just like I mean like my 600 pounds life type people. Those are the most beautiful women in the country. Like people, the men shape thin girls in that country. It's hilarious.
Those people. Like,
Huh? Have you seen it?
if food was very scarce in that country, so there was.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah, because it's a desert country.
I just thought about
It means that.
I think I could get like a lot of agreements out of everybody, and everybody would be on my side, and they would all support me in this effort. Sugar Belly, would you like to argue or debate if God actually exists or Christianity?
No, I'm not interested.
You're not interested? Dude, I want to watch. I just thought about it. I was like, man, imagine watching Sugar
I am
Belly.
not interested, sir.
I think everybody would support that.
I am not interested.
You're not interested?
Yes.
Oh, okay. True. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's a desert country, so.
I'll kick your teeth in.
Rich not saying nigga.
Yeah, so, oh my God, can you stop? Like, please. Yeah, so look, it's a desert country, and they do have a history of like, cyclical famine. So it makes sense that like the men there really like fat women.
There you go. No ChatGPT or no research was
I'm
I don't know if I agree with that reasoning.
significant
I hear your reasoning. I don't know if I agree with it because if you go to like a place like
I thought I had it solved with clearly.
Morocco doesn't have a history of famine.
no, what I'm saying is the desert thing that you're talking about.
No. So me mentioning that it's a desert country doesn't mean that like the causative factor is desert. The causative factor is food scarcity. That's the causative factor. So basically, populations where like they experience chronic food scarcity, the men are attracted to fat women.
Yeah.
But actually, apparently Morocco does. They've had a history of famine.
Chronic. Chronic. That word chronic is not a declaration.
How many
Chronic.
hundreds? Yeah, it was that. Yeah. So that's why I guess the Mauritius, I've never heard of that country.
And it's not even just that. Like all these
It's in East Africa. Do you want to Mauritania?
Mauritania? No, I'll be honest, I haven't heard of it. I'll be
It's
real.
one of the smaller countries most people are aware of. But yeah, it exists.
So like there's a fascinating documentary, right, where they go and they like actually start talking to men there. So like in Mauritania they have this practice called gavage. So gavage is when they take little girls and they take them out into the desert. They put them in a camp in the desert. Like the girls are like 5 years old, 6 years old, maybe 7 years old. And in the desert camp, they put the girls' toes in these toe vices, right? And they force feed the girls all day long. And they feed them until they start vomiting. They feed them camel's milk mixed with fats, mixed with honey. And they force them to drink it until they start vomiting.
Is this a particular tribe, by the way?
No. It's more like a countrywide practice.
So this is a cultural practice within the whole nation.
Yeah. So basically, like they when the girls start to vomit the food because they can't eat anymore, they beat them and they twist the toe vices so they have to keep eating, and then they force them to like sleep all day. So like it's like a whole cycle of like sleep, eat, and the whole point of this is to make them fat. To make them fat, and the reason why it doesn't make them fat is because the men won't marry them if they're thin.
What age do they do this to the women or the girls? To what age?
I think the documentary. So and this is like I think it was like like maybe like 2010, between 2010 and 2015, I think.
No, I mean the age of the
the girls. They're like 5, 6, 7.
Oh no way.
They're 5, 6, 7. Some of the older ones. So the older girls are there because they're from poorer families. So like wealthier families send their girls earlier. Poorer families send their girls later because they can't afford it. But anyway, long story short, like the whole point is to make the girls fat so that they'll be able to get husbands and like so that men will like them and stuff. And so like in the documentary, they go around like asking the men like, hey, what kind of woman do you like? Then they bring them American magazines and show them like American supermodels in the magazines, right? And they're showing the men, they're like, do you like this woman? Do you think she's pretty? Blah, blah, blah. And it's so interesting because all the older men, all of them said the supermodels were ugly, that this is terrible. They want like fat, obese women, blah, blah. In the younger men, it was mixed. So they had some younger men who would say that, the supermodels were ugly and that fat women were pretty. And then you had some younger men who had like more Western exposure. And those men would say that fat women are ugly and that they want like the supermodels.
I agree with you. I'm going to make the claim also just off of the back of what you said that attraction is part of attraction, or a huge part of attraction is social conditioning.
I strongly agree.
No, I agree.
Yeah, you're likely to find attractive what your peers find attractive.
It's true.
Yep. Men are very, very follow. Like if they see a woman that they feel that their peers thinks is like a desirable woman, they start desiring that kind of woman.
I think a huge part of attraction also just because of the thing you said about follow. I don't believe it's as simple as that. I believe it's also linked to status. I think a big thing that you guys have in your country in America is that people complain, or black women especially complain, that athletes or artists or people that are high profile get engaged or they marry or whatever with white women. That's a big thing in your country, okay? So I think that a part of that comes with status. And I know that this is something that a lot of people don't want to discuss, but I'm not saying that I completely agree with this, but I want to open the floor because it's an American issue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you at all, and I'll say this coming from a country where marrying white women or marrying white people I'm Nigerian. Like marrying white people used to be a low status behavior in Nigeria, and then because of American influence, it has flipped. So yeah, so I think what is happening is that, like in America, what do you say?
I can't hear you. My microphone is messed up. Sugar Billy, what you mean on you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Korea, you made a point about the plastic surgery. So Korea has the most plastic surgery, the highest plastic surgery.
Yeah, Korea has like the highest rates of plastic surgery in the world.
Then there's another stat. You can check it. I don't have my PC open, so I might be like one off or something like that. So the highest products for skin whitening products for skin lightening products. Korea is number one, and then Nigeria falls, I think, number 3.
No, so Nigeria is like that. Oh my god, I feel like this is Nigeria's most misquoted stats. I know, I heard you. This is the most misquoted stats about Nigeria ever. So the study. Sorry, 1 second. So the study was a study that was done on traders in Lagos. Lagos is one state in Nigeria. And the study found that 70 to 77% of the respondents of that survey had used skin whitening products. For some reason, the study keeps on getting quoted as 70% of Nigerian women have used skin whitening products. And this is not true, and especially like if you actually go to the country and look at like the people walking down the street, demographics and everything, you can see that it's not true. The vast majority of Nigerians are brown skinned, like they're just like they're like a dark brown, right? What you have is a localized part of the country that has a lot of Western exposure, and in that part of the country, you have a high rate of skin bleaching, and that place is Lagos. So in Lagos specifically, you have a high rate of skin bleaching. No, because like in Abuja it's déplacé. Yeah, so like it's very déplacé.
But I also should have got your phone. I think also like the idea of thinking that these people are lighter skinned too, that's like what the country
No, I mean, so yeah, we have some people in the country who are light skinned, and so the whole like
The greater point of what I'm trying to say is that the standardized version or Eurocentric version of beauty, like I said, is social condition. Everybody agreed with that.
Yeah, we agree.
Korea is number 1 when it comes to cosmetic surgery and also with skin whitening products, and Nigeria is number 3. But I'm not trying to single out Nigeria. I'm trying to say that this is a global thing. This is a product.
Yeah, so I think what I'm saying is that it's actually a lot more layered than that. So how do I explain this thing in a way that makes sense? I would say that there are there's like a chain, there's like a daisy chain of like people who are influencing other people, and that's what is happening. So you have a chunk of people who are people that have Western exposure. And by Western exposure, what I mean is they consume American media, they've been to America, they used to read American magazines, magazines, they know American celebrities, blah, blah, blah. They're very like mentally plugged into like what's happening in America, right? Those people have mentally downloaded American attitudes about colorism, preferring like light-skinned people, preferring white-skinned people, and whatnot. The problem is that this set of people are also the most likely set of people to have money. So because they're likely to have money, that means that they're likely to be the gatekeepers of opportunities for people in the rest of the country who don't have as much exposure to America. They just don't. Those who don't know what's going on in America, they don't know like they don't know any of this stuff, right? But what they do know is that the people who have the job that they want, they said in the job description, only light-skinned women. Or they didn't say that, but like when they went to the job interview, only the light-skinned women got through. So those people don't have a mental idea about how they feel about skin color. Like they don't think, oh, light skin is better. They don't think that like white people are better. They don't think any of those things. But they're seeing the pattern that if you're lighter, these people will treat you better. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, Lou, you there? Nah, I'm just trying to get his attention to play chess. My fault, yeah. Hey, Sugar Belly, I have one friend. He's in the chat. He's telling me that
You want to play chess?
Hold on, Luke, just a second. Sugar Belly, I had one friend who told me that he doesn't want to use things like toners because he believes it's going to bleach his skin because of, what toners do. I'm like, bro, yeah.
No, I understand why he said that, but he's making a mistake. So like toners are like
they're not meant to. They don't bleach.
Yeah, they're like a kind of skincare product. But the reason why he has that confusion is because the word bleaching has a bad rep. The people who do bleach their skin in Nigeria say, "Oh, I'm not bleaching my skin. I'm toning my skin." So that's the reason why he probably thinks that any toner, any skin toner, is something that's going to bleach your skin.
Toner is like used to like remove makeup and exfoliate.
Yeah, I know what it is, but like
in the countries where people want to make it like they want to calm down the fact that they're bleaching, they don't want to stigmatize it. They call it toner most of the time. They call it skincare.
Yeah.
They make different words for it.
But we would agree here anyway. So find something that we can too peaceful.
But I think what is really scary. So like what is really scary is that richer people who have colorist mental attitudes are causing poorer people who don't understand colorism and don't even understand white supremacy and don't understand any of these things to bleach purely because they want better opportunities. And so it's trickling into all sorts of weird things. So like I remember getting to a Facebook group that was titled a skincare Facebook group, and I found a bunch of their like training tips on how to bleach their babies.
So tired from that place, though.
I remember like reading, like I was like, what the hell is happening in this group? And I was like reading all of their posts, like they would post pictures of their babies, and they'd be like, oh my god, like my baby, she was yellow before, but now like she's turning dark. What do I do? What do I blah blah, that kind of thing, right? And it was really sad because what I saw was that they were talking about how people treated their babies. So when their children were dark, a lot of people didn't treat their children well, or maybe they did treat their children well, but when their children were lighter, people treated them better. People were nicer to them. They said their children were cute. They had more compliments.
I said it was bad. Yeah, just that you
so that's what's happening. Yeah,
Sounds
it's
really dangerous though. Like as a baby.
It's extremely dangerous.
Yeah. Like you're messing up with the growth of the baby.
Yeah.
I could never imagine
It's not even fully formed, so it's just
bleaching my skin. I love my skin. I love the way it shines in the sun. I love just the radiance of it. I could never imagine trying to like bleach my skin. But my mom does like the hydrochloroquine and hydrochloroquine.
No, I think you mean hydroquinone. No, that's like the OG bleacher. Yeah.
That one. And then they also use like glycolic acid to try to bleach their
You know, the dark thing about glutathione is actually very good for you in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's an antioxidant, it's good for us, but like, when they push it, they're trying to push it in heavy, heavy amounts, and that's what gives it its like skin lightening effect. If you push it in like heavy amounts, like more than you would normally need. It's insane.
I think my whole point is that like the truth is that more people bleach their skin because their life opportunities are tied to their skin color than because they genuinely do not like their skin color or because they think that like white people are superior.
There's a culture too, Sugar Belly. Like my sister, she lives in Philly. She grew up in Philly, but she has Liberian, upbringing too in the house, and her mother is Liberian, and the community around is a lot of Liberian, right? She began bleaching her skin at one point. It was probably maybe 10 years ago now. And she it wasn't tied to opportunities and stuff like that. You know, like the people in Philly not gonna look at her different when she goes to get a job.
But she's a Liberian, right?
Like in Nigeria.
But she's a Liberian.
Huh?
It's actually a Liberian.
Liberia?
Yeah, she's a Liberian, right?
Yeah.
Liberia, the country.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but like in Liberia, the reason why they have a light skin complex is because when Black Americans moved to Liberia, no, that's not why I do. So like, let me finish. When Black Americans moved to Liberia, they promptly enslaved the native population.
No, I know the history of America.
Yeah, but look at other people because they don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, before you get into that, let me just ask you, her being separate from the actual country of Liberia, right? Mm-hmm. What would you say anyone's reason for skin bleaching at that point? Because you would just attribute it, and I agree with you.
Just because you go somewhere, it doesn't mean you're kind of separate from like all your childhood influences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like
it comes down to the root thing. I said it's down to conditioning.
Okay, I understand. You go back to Black Americans.
No, I'm actually just going to say what happened in Liberia. The reason why Liberians are complex. Like, do you understand? The reason why Liberians specifically have a complex with their skin color, and the reason why they do is because Black Americans moved to Liberia, enslaved the native Liberians, and implemented. Let me finish. And implemented very strict segregation according to skin color, right? And then not only did they do that, but then they very deliberately only wanted to breed or, intermarry with light-skinned people. And then, and then they hoarded all the opportunities and economic resources in the country for only that set of light-skinned people. So to this day in Liberia, if you look at their government, all of their top government are light-skinned, mixed-race Black American descendants. Meanwhile, the native Liberians, like the actual average people, are dark-skinned, regular-looking West African.
I watched a documentary on the people of Liberia, and didn't they have like some dictator named Butt Naked?
General Butt Naked.
Yeah. Wasn't that crazy? He was horrible.
Yeah, he used to.
The worst.
He used to eat children's hearts.
Yeah, he was to eat people and run around butt naked.
He was crazy.
Might be a stupid topic, yeah. But now listen, yeah. So, Liberia was founded by 3 Black people from the United States and the Caribbean, including formerly enslaved individuals who were supported by American colonization. I'm reading this, by the way. So then that was in the 19th century. Okay, so now you didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'm making gumbo.
So now let me open the floor for this question.
Wait, Eric, you knew the history of Liberia?
Yeah, bro.
Fuck.
I never
Clearly didn't know because he sounds like the Arabs. He feels like all the Arabs.
No, honestly, I thought Liberia was in North Africa. I thought it was
What?
part of them, bro. Yeah.
Everybody says it's not North Africa.
Liberia, bro. Listen. Black.
No, you're black. Libya.
I'm more black than you.
Oh, okay. You're gonna mix up with
Thank you. All right, everybody love him. Alright, cool. Let me get back to what I was saying now. So now
I mean, he also never heard of Mauritania, but go on.
Mauritania is what's the population of Mauritania?
I don't know, but I know where the country is.
Okay. Okay, you know where the country is, but the population is less than probably 500,000.
What? What?
Not true.
No, it's a fake
Where are you getting that from?
I don't know where I'm getting because I'm not Googling, I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm not even checking.
Why would you think the population of Mauritania is 500,000 or less?
Because it's not
What's crazy about that guess? He didn't even say 5 million. He's not like what?
And I'm trying to help about over 5 million people in Mauritania.
Okay, so you're wrong. So the no, sorry, my Google made a mistake. It did Mauritius. The population is 1.26 million. So alright, give it to you that you're right. I don't know about anyone.
Liberia, Libya, Mauritania.
What about Lebanon?
Lebanon, of course I know where Lebanon. I've been there before. I did a textile business over there before. I've been to Lebanon before.
What about Eritrea? You know where Eritrea is?
I know where Eritrea is, East Africa, of course, right next to Ethiopia. Okay.
What about the country of all the non-black countries?
What about Chad?
These are African countries. I know where Chad is. Chad had one of the biggest empires.
The heart of Africa.
What's a massacre?
Stop. You guys know what he said? You know what he said just now?
I said,
no,
what?
What he just said right now. He said,
what did I just say?
he
The
said,
heart of Africa.
I'm going to say word for word. He said, I know where Chad is. Chad had one of the biggest empires in Africa. Mansa Musa.
Oh no.
I thought we can plan this to film against Nikki B's cover I'm not responding.
Oh
The complaint to destroy the rugs, carpeting, additionally during the deep they were young,
Oh my God, like what's
also
going on?
handles cases are less than desirable guests. As much as possible to do agree there's a strong odor in the unit, most likely from heat and his dog, but also
He forgot.
Wait, what did
there's
you
no, I
say
did
now?
not recognize any, he looked like someone that the streets of the everything was still not clean and sterilized.
I have a reason for saying that.
For guests, check out walkthrough videos. That's the 24-hour deep clean walkthrough video. I launched a
The reason you have to say that's liabilities. That's what is going on.
The entire carbon
I
machine
don't know
has
how you
been
go to carry Mansa Musa all the way
update the
from Cali to
amount
Ghana.
of complaint about the flooring gets to 2,000 to cover the repair and replacement of the carpet and part of the flooring, which will most likely cause any smell and due to the damage of the photos.
I'm reading
The
this over
roads
TV.
are all
Okay,
washed
excuse
with
me,
double
sir,
urine
right?
around, and they also fill out one of the roads. They also destroyed the pool
If an empire just
No, Chad is in Central Africa. I went to a school called Chad School. I know everybody from Mali Empire. I was never part of no Mali Empire, bro.
Excuse me, Luke, let me just tell you what the cheat code is, okay?
The Empire Surgery was
Luke,
let me speak now.
Please
No,
don't
I'm
advise
gonna
having
give you the floor,
assistance
please.
in case you
Most of the territory of the Empire Territory was extensive across the modern day Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Burkina Faso,
place the bed, the sheets,
Nigeria, Mauritania, the place you were talking about, and Chad. While his empire included Chad, Mansa Musa's personal origins are from Mali Empire, which is located in West Africa, okay?
Okay, so,
Okay, Chad was at one point in history, Chad was a hub.
what? No, it was never the code, please.
I said for a reason.
Listen, my darling Luke, the cheat code to knowing where countries in Africa are is to cluster them, okay? For example, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia,
I got them right. You don't have to
right?
put them to me. I got them right.
No, I'm not calling. Just like do you have ADHD?
I do. Yes.
Yeah,
That's why I'm a multi-millionaire.
I can tell. So my point is like you cluster them. So we know that the ones I just listed, those are like the foreign countries, right? You just have to know where one particular country is and then cluster its neighbors. And that's how you can, never lose your way.
Okay, Ak is changing what I've said. I don't know if you're doing it intentionally, Ak.
What happened? No, I'm just saying that the Mali Empire never stressed the
I'll
Chad.
concede. I'm not an expert, yeah. So
No, I'm not trying to change what you said. All I heard you say was that Mali included Chad.
Yeah, it was
No,
never
that's
like.
not. That's
And it also never included Nigeria.
but it's all right. Mansa Musa never. He
Like it never
didn't come from Chad, bro.
I never said it. Okay. I think
Okay. You said that he ruled an empire, right? You said Chad was part of one of the greatest empires.
Listen. Let me say this. I know a lot of people from Chad, and whenever Chad is included in the conversation, I have a lot of pride about Mansa Musa because he did play a significant role in
Because of the region, bro.
Okay. He played a huge regional role and also a cultural role.
Excuse me, Chad is nowhere close to Mali. What's going on here?
No, I mean modern day Mali. We're talking about the Mali Empire, right?
You say to somebody from Chad, okay? Say that to somebody from Chad.
You said you're Nigerian? What? Tell them what? Mansa Musa never ruled them?
You say that to somebody from Chad and let's see what they say.
Yeah,
Okay, can you get them here?
Can I just say this thing? And I'm not trying to be mean or nasty or classist, but it is a fact. The vast majority of Africa and African countries.
You know what it is? What black? I don't care.
Luke, I was speaking.
I don't care.
Luke, I was speaking. Luke, I was speaking.
Let me pull back on the black.
Luke, I was speaking.
I don't care.
Luke, I was speaking.
I want to summon Huey.
I was speaking, Luke. Are you like, what's going on?
Like a poltergeist? Do you need a Ouija board?
Like, stop that. So I'm sorry to say this thing, right? But it is the truth. The vast majority of like other African countries are simply not as well educated as three particular countries. So like they say a lot of nonsense that isn't actually true, and it's actually like fascinating to just like watch.
Okay, I don't agree with that, but I don't want to get through.
Okay, so
What are the three countries?
So Nigeria, South Africa, and I think the last one is Ghana.
Okay, so the top 5 wealthy countries.
That's I didn't say wealth. I didn't say wealthy. Did I mention wealth?
You know that. So Sugar Belly, if you look at a country like Kenya, like even Zimbabwe, like they have like their literacy rates are like through the roof. Their educational attainment is actually quite high too. But I would say on the global stage that you are right. I think because of their economic stability, those three countries like that.
Yeah. So and the reason why I'm saying this thing is because like it's kind of crazy when you consider like how much poorer the other countries are. Your mic is gone.
Your cranberry, okay, jump in. You can battle sort of.
You just say what up?
So look, I'm really sorry, but like you need to stop speaking Yoruba.
You see that? You're saying
I'm saying that your pronunciation is atrocious. So.
Okay, but when I go to different European countries.
Oh, Benny Cranberry, come on, Sybil. I don't know what's going on over here. I'm just here chilling. You got to go about.
So, for example, yeah. Are you Christian?
Many Nigerians in here.
Sugar video, are you Christian?
No.
Okay, so for example,
Many Nigerians.
Sorry, there's a lot of people talk. I can't hear what you're saying.
Let me make one point and then I'm gonna mute up.
There's like multiple people talking.
Let me make one point and then I'm gonna mute up.
Oh, that's valid compared
Jesus Christ, the Bible was written, the first Bible was written in Greek. Can we agree that?
What has the Bible got to do with this conversation?
Like I said, let me make the point.
So we're trying to put in Ethiopia actually as a neutral. I don't know about it. I just talk about I've done my research about that on social media. I don't know where you're going with this conversation.
That's the oldest preserved Bible.
Okay, thank you for that.
Preserved. I don't know. The oldest Bible was in Ethiopia for sure. I don't know where you're going. Where you're going.
Thank you. Okay. So, alright. I'm not intellectual. I'm not the guy like this. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm not. Alright. So the oldest Bible was Ethiopian, but then after that, the common language of his empire was the Byzantine Empire, and that language was Greek, and the Bible was written in Greek. Can we agree? Now let me continue with what I'm trying to say. So Jesus Christ in the marketplace, he spoke Greek. I lived in Greece for 2 years. Nobody ever complained about the way I was pronouncing words. It's only an African person that's going to complain about how you pronounce it.
Okay.
You're pronouncing what words?
Wait, hang on. I'm the one.
I'm sorry, actually, you engaged me. So I'm actually that clear. Sorry, like, what specifically?
When I was speaking to Cranberry,
relax. I called Cranberry. I heard Lucy Cranberry. I'm just going by what I heard. So please.
Yeah, and I was the person who criticized
English accent. But my point is that if I go to Spain, if I go to Italy, if I go to Greece, like I said, I made the example of Jesus Christ spoke marketplace Greece, Greek. He wasn't speaking fluently. Nobody makes fun of the way of me speaking their language and the way I speak it. But I'm actually Nigerian, like blood, 100% Nigerian. And then another Nigerian is gonna try to make fun.
Bro, if she say your accent ain't good, what's the point?
You understand my point?
Shouting. Let's go.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Go on, Luke.
This is the point. So after all of that said and done, you come and you say that, oh yeah, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to sow division. I'm not trying to do no. You said something. You made a disclaimer before you said a point. But what you're doing is exactly that. That's what you're doing. Oh, you're saying this accent. You're saying this on the Africans. You're trying to do the tribalism classist thing. And I say I'm not trying to be.
Look, let me respond to you. But I don't know what originally. Oh my God, of this. Look, I know what exactly just called me in. Luke called me in. Even if your pronunciation of the Yoruba language is not great, at least you're attempting. I'm not gonna shame you for that. Like, you know some words, you understand some stuff. So I'm not gonna shame you, bro. You're Nigerian. That's it. Someone, if you go to that country, I speak German, I speak French. My German is not the most cleanest German. I can pronounce very easily. I don't know if that's the conversation. That's my opinion, but don't. Why are you fighting that? I'm just saying that, like, if you're going to pronounce particular words, I'm not shitting you for it. Well, at least you make an attempt. So I give you props for that. Just learn more. Watch Nigerian movies. Try and practice, and you'll be fine. That's it.
I
just want to make an observation and get out the way.
Yeah, sure.
Right. You said what you said to him. Now, Luke, did you think that your accent in Yoruba was good before Sugar Belly made this happen? No. Okay. Are you practicing? Are you trying to learn?
So the way I practice usually when I live my life, as I've made some examples of, I've lived in countries.
Wait, hang on, sorry, excuse me, because like you were saying all this stuff about me, and I'm just like, I don't want to get into like another whatever.
Sugar Belly, I'm literally just gonna.
So my observation is this: Sugar Belly made a comment about, and if it's true or not, right? She made a comment about how she feels about how he sounded, right? It's an observation. I don't think that we gotta fucking hone in on it as much as we are.
No, it's not.
Right? I feel like you felt offended, and I don't think you should be offended. That's all.
Get offended.
Okay, so as the person, wait, hang on, because as the person who
Let me
made the
respond to that, and
comment.
I'm gonna give you the mic. I swear to you.
Yeah, I won't respond.
I'm 100% not offended. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make the distinguishing factor between the point that was that she brought up before about I'm not trying to be mean, classist, so and so. But then you did an exactly same attitude towards. You proceeded to be mean, classist, so and so. Hold on. I said I was wrong before, but then you proceeded to do that, and then after that, you then went and started talking about, don't talk Nigerian, don't talk Yoruba, blah blah blah. Now I'm done.
Okay, so as the person made the comments, like I actually think that you're turning a hill into a mountain, but I also feel like the attitude of like, oh, you know, why do I have to get the accent right, or why do I have to get the pronunciation right? Besides, like, by the way, I never mentioned your accent.
I never said why I want.
I said the attitude of like, can you not do the same? Like, try to comprehend the entire sentence, please. The attitude of like, oh, Jesus was speaking Greek. Oh, when I go to Greece, nobody criticizes my Greek, or blah blah, that kind of thing. Can I finish, please? Like, I think that that's a very Nigerian attitude. So if you think that I'm trying to snatch your Nigerian card, don't worry, you're not in any danger, because that attitude of like, oh, this thing is mediocre, but it's perfectly fine, is a very Nigerian attitude.
No, it's not. Nigerians are the most perfectionist top level cyber
criminals. Like, I actually live there, so this is not like your Jingle Bells fantasy of Nigeria. If you're going to speak a language or like learn something or learn a skill, it is worth it for its own reward to actually aim to get it right. So I've never understood this business of like, you know, oh, it's like half baked, but like it's okay. And I don't like why people act offended about that. Like, we we learn to speak English, and when we're in school, the amount of teaching that's to get us to learn English is to get us to master English, right? Nobody ever tells, oh, why can't we just speak broken English? And after all, people can kind of understand us. It's okay like that. So I just don't understand why people don't want to have a level of mental standards for African languages. I don't get it. Secondly, you were saying hang on, you were saying that it doesn't matter whatever. Why are you interrupting?
I'm speaking Greek, so let me hear you.
Okay, but can you? Why? So again, I'm sorry, but
you want to speak Spanish with me as well?
Excuse me. So Luke, this is nonsensical. What you're doing, Luke, is completely nonsensical. I didn't put any.
It's not nonsensical.
Can I
Google
finish
Translate
a
open up
sentence?
my phone and put my voice on.
Okay.
It's gonna make a full sentence.
Look. Okay, so you know what? I wasn't going to say this before, but I actually have to say it. And I'm not saying it based purely language comments. I'm saying it based off this and the chat thing and Musa thing and all of that stuff. Luke, you have a chip on your shoulder. For some reason, you're not able to accept when you're wrong about something, or you feel I don't know if it's you feel insecure about saying, oh, actually, just
Belly is gaslighting. Why are you gaslighting?
I have a chip on my shoulder.
No, it's you do. So Luke, you do have a chip on your shoulder.
It's like a put a screenshot.
Luke, can I finish my sentence, please? When you really want to do this
my bank
correct,
balance on my portfolio.
you
have a chip on my shoulder.
No, proving the chip on your shoulder. Proving it. No, proving you have a chip on your shoulder.
That's the ghetto.
You want to post your bank balance? You want to post your bank balance because I said that you mispronounced the word.
I have a chip on my shoulder.
You have a chip on your shoulder.
That's the gaslighting, sugar belly.
No, let me finish, please. Excuse me, Luke. All I said was that you mispronounced a word, right? And you want to post your bank balance and show me all your millions. You're proving you have a chip on your shoulder. You're insecure. You're proving it.
But this is the easiest thing that females go through that have no logical argument. They say that you're insecure about anything that a man tries to do. Your man's playing your insecure.
Why do I need to see your bank account because you mispronounced a word?
They don't actually say that that, girl.
Why do I need to see your bank account because I said you mispronounced a word? What's the connection? What is the connection between your bank account and mispronouncing a word?
That wasn't the connection, though. That wasn't the connection.
Mira. So let me tell you this. The biggest chip on my shoulder I had in my life when I grew up in Deptford in poverty, sharing debt.
What has this got to do with you mispronouncing a word?
Listen, the biggest chip on my shoulder I had in my life was poverty. My biggest chip on my shoulder was being poor.
I can tell. I can tell.
So now, when you say I have a chip on my shoulder, when I say I've overcame that, I'm saying, okay, show the proof of me overcoming that. Anything that you're saying is intellectual. I say, hey, I'm not an intellectual.
I can absolutely tell.
I'm not a professor of Yoruba. I know it's a tonal language. I cannot speak it well. So you can't get a one-up on me with this.
I'm not trying to one-up you. That's exactly why I said you have a chip on your shoulder. I have to be poor. I can tell. It's written all over you. All I said.
From morning to night. Only you talk.
Okay.
Everybody.
All I said.
Now, wow, sugar belly. Now, wow.
I'm only shut the fuck up. I'll take
bro.
What? This is crazy, right? Because honestly, yes, you mispronounce the word. Yes.
Only you be
Can you
talking
shut the
from
fuck
morning
up?
to night.
When other people are talking, you didn't hear them talking. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Please
You
give
want
us
to
peace
hear me talk? Leave the fucking room.
Jared, give us peace. Jared, please.
No, leave the room. Shut the fuck up. I was talking to Damon. I was talking to Luke. So as I was saying, Luke, you blew this completely out of proportion, right? Yeah, did you mispronounce the word? Yeah, sure, no problem. Yes, I said you mispronounced the word.
Only you will be talking from morning to night.
It's wild how you how you've gone from you mispronouncing the word, telling me all your life story, how you're gonna show me your bank account.
Mispronouncing a word.
What does that got to do with anything?
I'm insecure.
But you are insecure.
Alright, I'm insecure. But yeah, you're right. Okay, well.
As much as I would like to.
Alright, let's do it.
I said what I thought about.
If you don't
Can we talk about how the Republican Party is homosexual?
Everybody, I want everybody to observe this. I did not personally attack her. I never said one thing about her. Personally attack her.
Bro.
Okay.
Flirting and shit, bro.
end this thing. Let's talk about the league, the league,
Give it like
the Republican kids that like how to read this shit all the time. Let's talk about that.
There's a back channel for a reason.
I mean, you really need to think about like how you blew this thing out of proportion.
Louis, I don't care, man. Let me speak about what are you talking about? The Republican kids of the young Republican shit.
What is it? What is it about?
I think I don't know. Maybe the Americans can extract shit, but there was like a group of young Republicans. It was a young Republican group, like I guess it's a Republican advocacy group called the Young Republicans, and they were pretty much the people in the group chat were saying a bunch of crazy shit about raping women, gas chambers, all types of just racist, crazy, like F-word type shit. PTR me, it was on a text message about gas chambers, talking about black women.
What are they talking about?
Crazy shit. But gets on stage when he's questioned about it. Everyone, he basically says everyone who's like complaining about it is like pearl clutching, and it's just a bunch of kids saying like edgy jokes pretty much. And they're not kids, they're all adults for the record. But
Talk. Only you talking. You have to shut the fuck up.
What are you doing? Sugar Belly is not being centered. You actually need to listen to her all the time, and you cannot. What do you think you are doing? What do you think you are doing?
Controlling the conversation.
Only you talking. We're trying to hear your voice, Louis. Be quiet. We are tired of hearing your goddamn voice. We're tired of hearing your goddamn voice, Louis.
Is this real?
We're tired of hearing your goddamn voice. We're tired of hearing your voice. Shut the fuck up.
I can't reason to get everyone that I appreciate can be still
Shut the fuck up.
I just realized that Sugar Belly is the Nigerian. Sugar Belly is the Nigerian Antifa. All by herself, she's in the Nigerian edition. Thank you.
I thought I had it cleaned enough.
No, thank you, ma'am. I'll leave that up to you.
Like for the LGBTQ, why would you deny that offer?
Okay, what cranberry are those? Like, what were they talking?
They were shit posting between each other, and the conversation got
They
didn't threaten anybody. It's just ridiculous. You're gonna tell me the direct quote, and I have to interpret it for you.
No, shit posting means that they put it.
They were shit posting. It was mean. Stop it.
It's a conversation between people that you can trust. Shit posting means putting something in public that is, just a throwaway line, just a shit post. They're having a conversation talking about Nazis. Yes,
I like how their fellow captain was defending the guy who fights as a member of my shit.
Yo, maniac. Yeah, that's weird, bro.
it's what they want. Just trying to put people against it.
Michael,
I don't see nothing wrong with talking about gas chambers. Nah, you can't fucking. I feel like when people joke.
The bigger story is J.D. Vance defending bullshit.
What did he say?
He pretty much said he's saying that anyone's upset about this. There's been bipartisan pushback too. But he's saying anyone who's upset is pretty much they're clutching fucking snowflake libbies type shit.
Pro clutch.
You're being too
uptight type shit.
And also question about does it offend me? Does it offend me? No. After I shut this off,
Mike, do you think that's something the vice president should get on stage, on a platform, on a podium, and defend in any capacity?
I would say, I ask one question. What platform was it where these messages sent? Okay, so not that. Actually, worse, actually, right?
And people in Missouri.
Because I didn't know about this type of info, but now let's get to how did it leak? Was it meant to be end-to-end?
Why are they just saying this random shit, Beaner and Spick?
Yeah, why would you?
They're not just saying it. It's had 28,000 posts over how many years, and then the news organization, it got leaked, and they combed through 28,000 messages to find the 20 worst egregious ones. It's comical.
Why are you ever saying beaners and spicks in a professional setting?
Yeah, but
These are not friends. These are colleagues.
Wait. Can we get to like the bigger issue? What was the organization? The bigger issue is what was it? Yeah, okay. What was the organization?
Republicans saying.
Wait, I don't get what the girl said. The bigger what the girl saying. Bring that side out. What does that mean?
Basically.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to watch people burn. Oh, that's pretty bad.
America.
They don't like Jewish people.
What is they done?
No, it doesn't seem like their favorite, Mike.
Hey, look at this guy. Trump's too busy burning Epstein files.
That's fine.
Can I play JD Vance response?
Yeah, play JD Vance response.
Okay. You don't think that the
Michael Cranberry real quick.
Especially young boys, they tell edgy, offensive jokes like that's what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives.
That's what kids do. Vice President J.D. Vance earlier today commenting again on a political story involving members of young Republican organizations and thousands of leaked messages where they're seen exchanging hate, racist, and homophobic texts. The vice president choosing there not to condemn the messages, instead dismissing it as, quote, what kids do, and that, quote, kids do stupid things, especially young boys. The organization in question is for Republicans between the ages of 18 and 40. Kids.
Young.
Anyway, according to Politico, the Telegram group chats involve Republican operatives, and at least one case, an elected official. Inside those messages, one referred to black people as, quote, monkeys, and, quote, watermelon people. One talked about sending political
Watermelon people is funny.
Another called rape, quote, epic. Prominent Republicans like Congresswoman Elise Stefanik were quick to condemn the messages. The young Republicans denounced the text as vile and inexcusable. Politico reports that at least one person lost their job, while another had a job offer rescinded. At least two of the people involved have apologized. My panelist, back the Arena text chain, is also with us. Tulu, I want to sort of start with you on the big picture. You spent a lot of time thinking about how race and politics intersect here, and the coarsening of the discourse that is seen on display in these texts is really, well, how do you interpret the reality that these groups, these groups of people felt like this was an appropriate thing to do?
Well, it's shocking to see this in public. You have to imagine that this does happen from time to time.
The person speaking is Tolu. He's a staff writer for The Atlantic.
I don't think we need to hear him speak.
White people. Something you let me know. I'm not gonna stop it here, but
stop it here.
I don't like thing that I want to say. The first thing is 40 is not young. And the second thing is I do think people are blowing this out of proportion. Right? Now there's one thing.
Here comes Eric with the edgy tape.
Hold on. This is my opinion. There's one thing in there that I do believe is kind of weird and should never be joked about, and that's rape. Now, everything else about like watermelon people, black people being monkeys, carabiners, gas chambers, and spics, bro. That's nothing. You should hear what people say. Even in this fucking room, you guys make fucking Jewish jokes, homophobic jokes, transphobic jokes. Like, imagine if I posted that online. A recording that y'all would get the same treatment.
I was told that my dad raped me as a child in this room. You guys are telling me.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is right. This is just like a normal occurrence, like between groups of people, close groups of people. Like to say that people never in their lives make edgy jokes is fucking outrageous. Now I do say that the rape thing is like kind of weird, and they should be like ostracized for that. But like the fucking gas chambers and watermelon people, bro, that's funny, bro.
Watermelon people is objectively funny.
This is a professional setting trying to get people to vote for their candidate.
It wasn't professional.
It's just dumb to do.
It was not a professional group chat.
It's an organization.
No, they were part of the organization. That wasn't an official fucking organization.
Wait. Were they texting? Hold on. Were these personal text messages, or was the platform that they were messaging on a professional setting?
It was personal group chat.
Did anyone in the group chat not work?
It was like it would be like if Phil got caught saying crazy shit.
Okay, so let's say, for example, whoever was just speaking,
you can run for office, dog.
Whoever was just speaking,
Discord, no one in Chillers was with
whoever was just speaking and whoever was just speaking just now.
Actually, Mr. Finley could.
Okay, if everybody says they say something racist, they say something to the girlfriend.
He's always buttoned up, but he does that intentionally because
you know, I'm trying to
want to get caught out there.
It's about freedom of speech. It's about not hacking.
I mean, yeah, but if you've added everybody, he's probably the best behaved.
Okay, so does everybody here think it's okay?
Yeah, because he's being professional.
Michael was trying to paint the picture that they work for like Microsoft or something.
Does that make Microsoft?
They do work for a Republican Party.
Yeah, that's not the same. I can work at the White House, and I can have a personal group chat outside of my work, and I can say all types of things. That doesn't like.
That's true, Eric. Look, I agree with what Eric's saying, but it's just when this is exposed, it's hard.
It's just not smart.
You cannot see it. Like, so when these guys, they want to get, like, if these guys were to go speak or represent something or try to say anything somewhat fucking in reference to morality or anything like that, how do you take them that seriously?
I mean, morality is subjective.
I agree it is, and so like if I hear people speak, I just can't look at these people like I don't know if I don't even fucking understand what they really do, but like I just know one thing: they didn't want this to get fucking released. You know what I mean? They didn't want it to get released, and so like, and so it's just ignoring it.
How do you think seriously any piece of
so the idea of like them seeing this and then seeing some of the stuff on there, it's like after that, I just don't see them as the same. Like even if they say it's a joke, it's kind of like I know what kind of content floats in your mind now, and it's like okay.
Exactly.
Right, it undermines whatever they say in the future.
It does have that effect. Now, in the sense of it should have ruined their life, I mean, fucking. That's gonna be up to, you know what? How about this? That's not up to anybody but the people that they subscribe to or they try to get a job with, whoever, because everybody has a right to respond to what they say.
Let me ask you something.
That's their fault.
If someone was making pedo jokes in those bad channels, would you feel like they should be exposed?
I feel like it is not
I'm not saying they're spreading kitty porn or anything. They're just making jokes about
Eric already put the disclaimer. Like he set the boundary. Rape, I don't fuck with, but everything else is whatever. So
are you ever going to be
the individuals who are willing to make jokes and be crassy about raping women, do you think
This is
these
so
are people
stupid.
that
This is so
you
stupid.
think these are people that ought to be protected?
A few weeks ago, everybody.
Say what you want to say. Wait, Eric. Say what you want to say about this space. Wait, really quick.
Everybody in this room was joking about dropping a soap. Everybody in this room was joking about dropping a soap a few weeks ago.
Shut up.
No, everybody in this room was dropping a soap.
No, take a breather.
Does that mean it's okay for everybody's identity?
Say what you want to say. You have to relax now. Let Louis finish, please. Say what you want to say about this room, Eric, and the type of shit we joke about. We don't use rape flippantly. We don't fuck with that shit, right? People get called out if anything like that is mentioned. That's called out. So like the type of group that's comfortable with that, type of rhetoric or even jokes that kind of fly around. I don't think that's worth defense.
I said that. I think that they should be ostracized for joking about rape. But everything else, bro, like when somebody brings up, they should be punished or horrible, and they use like fucking because they said gas chambers or watermelon people. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't care about that.
You know what's funny about this thing is like I see this room. I feel like most people in this room have said some egregious things, and I'm like, I know deep down you guys can't speak like this in real life, and then you're like you're in your office because I listen more than I will speak in this room. Like I've heard the N word, I've heard like rape, I've heard kill, I've heard slut, I've heard disease.
Never heard of rape, Eric.
I don't know. Hold on, let me finish. I won't cut you off, but that's not bad. I listen more than I speak in this room, to be very transparent. So, and I said, this group chat, people make fucked up jokes. People are making fucked up jokes right now. But when you're in a particular setting and you measure these jokes, and you have the potential to be someone of power one day, and you keep having this mindset, people are going to question your morality as to how you actually see this person, because some of the jokes you may not see as a problem, but other organizations that people want to partner with me see you as not someone they want to fuck with, actually represent them. So, yeah, you have that freedom of animals, speech. You guys say horrendous things all the time, no problem. But you can't blame the society and public for reacting the way they do when they don't want to be affiliated with that kind of thought process from the get-go. They don't want that. I'm not saying that people cannot also be hypocrites, but at the same time, people just don't want that around them. They don't want that kind of mentality. They don't want someone that is saying, oh, like, these niggers are doing this kind of thing, and he's responsible for collaborating with the black community. It just doesn't compare. It doesn't make sense. But to like my point here, it's like, it gets kind of very fucked up when, for example, someone makes a joke about, like, I don't know, someone said about kids, right? And the person's like a principal in the school. Like, bro, that's kind of fucked up too. I guess that's a very weird comparison. But in summation, when this kind of leak out, people are going to question you, and you cannot judge them for questioning your merit and your stuff and saying what kind of leadership or roles you should be holding, like in society. Like, very, very sensitive decision-making things as well. You have this kind of thought process in the back end. Sorry, you can't blame them. So I know most people here don't want to get what they've said here on Chisholm because most of you don't have your pictures up. You don't want to have to be dogs or whatever. You don't feel confident that, oh, I see a nigga on Clubhouse. If you get sick, I'm fine because I'm not talking behind the scenes. Sorry, listen, it doesn't you can say that here, but I'll land there for God because it was a very
And you know what? I'll say one last thing. If anything, this is a plus because this is a torpedo to his presidential campaign next year. Like, just imagine the clips of him fucking exchanging this bullshit. So, if anything, good. It's good. It lays, relaying the political process.
I never thought he was going to be president.
Me neither. But still, this is just more ammo against him.
Yeah,
Let him dig his hole. He's done this a couple times before. Like, needlessly defended bullshit, and I'm just like, why, dog? I have presidential race to consider.
If I was in that group chat, I would have doubled down, bro. I'd be like, damn, I said it and what? I'll say it again.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean,
It's gonna ruin your credibility with something.
Honestly, I don't know if it
If you double down on the rape joke,
you're ruining no matter what, though.
the rape stuff is the only thing, but isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You can make the the bots racial jokes, but like only the rape stuff is what's like people in like zone in.
Was it you? Was it the Bible?
No, I think a lot of people are being hypocrites.
Where's that rule?
I think collectively, the majority of society, like 99% of society, think that joking about raping women is like kind of off limits. But everything else is very
It's just always
Even
because everyone's here around.
if you double down on the beaner jokes, it's just strategically not smart.
everybody because you don't think about racism. You still have a career goal, have a goal, everybody in this room.
Yeah, but a certain amount of people.
You have to leave room for a certain amount of plausible deniability.
But if Eric was like, you know what, yeah, I did say it, I was fucking around and blah, 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 it was a joke.
Right.
And so what? You know what's funny is that, like, that seems to be more effective in the sense of, like, dealing with less repercussions. And, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't, you know, like, when you start apologizing and whatever, it's kind of like,
that's when you lose.
An apology, and it's like, if it's like, hey, I'm sorry, it was a joke. Guys, it was like, hey, I'm sorry, it was a joke. Because you know what? Most everybody that's reading it and having an opinion has probably said something in a humorous way that is like something that's either prejudiced or like racial or something, right?
I mean,
so
like,
wait, Mike,
we'll see
so if you're like, if it's like, you know what, fucking, I was just fucking around.
If Christian makes jokes about gas chambers, they usually don't get them.
That's a weird thing. That's a weird thing.
I'll go after Michael, it's fine.
Look, I tend to believe that people's sense of humor says something about them. But, like, some people are just naturally like that. They see the world the way they do, and they express it that way. And if you come out and you're just saying, look, I was in a private conversation, I was fucking around, it was just a joke, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, fucking whatever. It wasn't meant to offend anybody. It was just me fucking around, whatever. I think that people are still going to see you in that way, but it's kind of like, it's hard to really, like, I don't know, it's just, you can't, anybody that wants to fucking throw a stone at you better have a clean resume, and I don't really know if anyone really does.
Well, Mike, I'm sorry, can I go? See, I hear what you're saying, yeah, I just feel like, but at the same time, in that same energy, so a company can say, yeah, we know you have your personal vibe and your personal bats, but you know what, a company doesn't fuck with that, so yeah, please, you're fired. You know, like, it's kind of like,
that's like,
it impacts our policies. We're kind of an organization that doesn't like to have that kind of imagery, that kind of like wording in our professional space. So please go find a different organization that can actually accommodate that. For example, there's a girl. What's that girl's name? Lily Gaddis. That was like got fired for saying nigga, and her boss is also a black person. She was on what's the guy?
Is it Canadian? Is she Canadian or something?
I think so. I can't remember.
Like a late night, like Indian.
No. She's American. She's American. White girl, like already looking girl. Her name is Lady Gaddis. She said the N word. She had this kind of traditional housewife outfit. Like, no, not Gaga. Lily Gaddis. Lily Gaddis.
I don't know.
You guys don't heard about that story? She went on Peoria.
What's the story?
So basically, this girl named Lily Gaddis, and she went on the social media platform, and she was just cooking and like making eggs or some kind of weird spice, and she was like, doesn't know why black girls or people, some of her friends, like some of her friends are dating broke ass niggas.
Yeah, I remember that. Can I ask Eric a question real quick?
Like, hold on. So like the internet got about it. They were like, oh, they found that she works for a lady that runs, I think, a black organization, or her boss is black. They found out, they fired her. What's that guy on YouTube, Pierce Morgan? Pierce Morgan. He invited her over and said, are you a racist? They're like, nah, use the N-word. No. Are you a racist? Like, yeah, I'm a racist. She like said, so I'm like, Mike, what you're saying, she said it, but she got fired, but she got popularity. Maybe most people don't know right now.
Did she say she was kidding when she said
she said it.
She said it.
Yeah,
you know what? Actually, come to think about it, that lady at the park, remember that talk shit to that kid?
Yeah, but we can see the thing is, you could do an analysis where in the moment, like let's say month one of incident, you get this spike in popularity. What about like the next 5 years? What happens then? That's the best way to analyze if this type of approach has like long-lasting sustainability in terms of like your popularity and your place in society. Now, to Eric, Do you like playing life on maximum difficulty, or do you like changing the difficulty along the way from moderate to max difficulty? I'm just curious because it seems like a pattern.
I
Dog.
change it every day. I just believe in certain things and that other people don't, bro. It's all there.
Let me find out. But I just feel like doubling down nowadays, at first, you're gonna get popularity, but be prepared. Like the side that supports you are gonna be a side that may even have more passion about what you said. You're gonna have a joke on out of context. You may find actual racist people that want to say, hey, by the way, look what you said, sister. You know, come join the brotherhood. 9:30 p.m. Like I don't know, like at Chuck E. Cheese or some shit. I don't know where you guys meet. I don't know where they meet, but like.
So look how many people are like accepting like friends with that guy Pepe on this app. Bro, that fool says some horrible ass shit and no one gives a fuck.
Who, Nick Fuentes?
He gets canceled all the time. He has no, can't keep an account. He has no platform. Every financial institution like drops him as a client, like he's like Pepe.
We have like 3 or 4 different conversations going. I still don't think it was okay for Nick Fuentes to get debanked. That's some serious shit.
Go somewhere else, nigga. You fucking with. You know what you don't understand, Monica, is that a prominent member. Hold on, let me say this real quick.
On the no-fly list. He was on the no-fly list.
You can go next. Yeah, control yourself, white woman. Anyway, so it's easily understandable with like stock market, being influenced by perception, public perception. If you have a company and they find, or a bank or anybody, they're publicly traded, you find out that you're associated with Nick Fuentes, and them fucking fans decide to start boycotting your bitch ass, you are gonna lose money. Thank you, Evelyn.
Go ahead, Monica.
Got after mine.
I go after, I think Eric Ron, right?
I don't believe Nick Fuentes ever called for violence. I don't believe he ever organized or harmed anybody. He was mildly annoying and invasive, following Ben Shapiro on the street. Debate me, bro. Debate me. Why won't you debate me? Like, we have to make sure that we're actually treating people who act like criminals as criminals, and the people who are just abrasive and obnoxious, like Concrete. Like, he didn't break any laws. He didn't hurt any people. He shouldn't be debated for ideas.
He was incarcerated?
No, she said debanked.
He was being treated like a criminal.
Yeah, that's the beauty of a capitalist society, Monica. There's a bunch of banks and another institutions that are willing to hold your money, but if so they can't. But I think Cranberry should want to go.
I was not talking about that one. What I wanted to say is that I'm a firm believer in you reap what you sow, right? So while I do believe people should be able to say what they want to say, when you say it, whatever happens, happens. And so if people decide that they don't want to do business with you or they don't want to be friends with you, that comes with the territory, bro. Like, you can't just have one foot in, one foot out, and then like you cry about it when somebody said, no, I don't want to be associated with you, right? But we live in this great country where, hey, if one thing decides to get rid of them, I'm pretty sure there's like 10 others that would do business with them, right? Because not all things are aligned with
capitalism, babe. I mean, let's put this real quick. If your shit is really, my bad, I'm so sorry. Okay, thanks. Actually, I won't be long. So, Mike, this is what the whole Lady Gaddis situation. Just 30 seconds.
Okay, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist, I'm a neo-Nazi.
You are a racist, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, health white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech?
Okay, so that's what she said. And yeah, she doubled down. And if you want to say something that like, of course, you could say something that like it's quite egregious to the history behind it as well, what happened, saying nigger, saying gas chambers, you know exactly in which direction that you're going to, right? And in particular, people don't want to fuck with that kind of rhetoric. They're gonna bounce back. We don't want to be part of this whole situation. And you can't, if you say, oh, this person shouldn't be debanked, debunked, defunded, frauded, whatever the terminology is, but let them go find people in that particular stratosphere that supports that kind of mindset to, fund them or basically, help them out as well. But you can't blame people for not like saying, you know what, I don't want to mess that, because there was even a video that I heard about, I think Charlie Kirk's producer not wanting to not wanting to what's the term, like reject Nazi what's propaganda or Nazi like communism, whatever, and do on the panel, right? And they asked, yo, do you reject Nazi propaganda, whatever that? And he was like, oh yeah, we can discuss about that. He asked everyone else in the panel, do you guys also debunk this, or everyone said yes, but except him. So that like weird pushback when something so fucked up needs to be like rejected from people, mostly from the right, maybe correct as well. I don't know, you guys are confusing at this point. It kind of makes me.
The right is confusing you, and they're trying to make you confused. Don't.
No. Well, don't let me get confused. It kind of like surprises me that like this should just be a straightforward response. We all know that 6 million people dying is a very
That's not straightforward, bro.
Hold on. To me,
it's only not straightforward recently.
Okay, wait, Louis, let me ask you a question. Do you condemn what the Jews did, or what Hitler did to the Jews?
Absolutely, unequivocally, yes.
Good. Now, if you ask someone else that question that says, hey, I know God no one else's name yet. Do you condemn what the Jews did, Brian? You say, well, that well alone is like
because it's more nuanced instead of being black and white. But a lot of people are brainwashed into believing that it's black and white, and they're afraid of saying what they want to say. No, it's not. But a lot of people are afraid to speak up because of what Monica mentioned. They don't have the heart or backbone to suffer the consequences of what they Now, somebody like me, if somebody asks me that question, I'll sure tell you. I'll tell you, no, I don't condemn it. And I would say some more things, but I don't want to say because I don't want to get my account back. But yeah, it's just simple as that.
When we're talking about a regime
you don't want to say because you get your account back. So what were we ripping what you sold?
Yeah, I said if you say it, yeah, you can reap what you sow. I wouldn't cry about it, but I'm
not saying you should cry.
The risk. That's why I'm not going to say it.
Okay, anyways, I didn't just probably. Well, I don't know. I just find it very funny. Yeah. But
you've been brainwashed, bro.
I'm not brainwashed.
It's not brainwashing. You're just being an edgelord.
All those kind of like traps or words, they don't work. I promise you, they don't work on me. I promise they don't. I've read, I've learned, I've lived. I pray about
things. So let me ask you that: if it hasn't worked, what was wrong with killing 6 million people?
It wasn't 6 million people. It was 11 million people. It was 6 million Jews.
How many ever was?
Hitler was trying to have power to himself.
Wait.
Hitler was a 11 million trying to eradicate the Jews because he was talking about agreement and how many people.
Wait, Eric, you know there were 5. Wait. You know there were 5 million people separated into different demographic groups that were also targeted.
Yeah, that could be the case. That could be the case.
That is the case. Forget the Jews. If you want to, because I don't think they're like anti-Semite. I don't even want to say anti-Semite, but they're like, oh, like whatever about the Jews, whatever. Remove the Jews. There are 5 million people. If you just remove the Jews, 5 million people systematically killed.
And guess what? I still hold the same stance.
Yeah, it's just I don't really matter. I don't think that's a stance that.
I'm not gonna have that conversation.
Since that program became power, why is it a bad thing?
Why is it a bad thing to systematically kill the people that we think are deplorable?
Remember, why is it wrong?
Why is it wrong that Hitler killed
A man is judge, jury, and executioner.
I'm not going to answer that question, my brother. I'm telling you, because Hitler was a
You
scumbag.
don't want to answer it.
I don't believe that Hitler was terrible. Jews were there. Come on, hold on. Jews, hold on. You know, this is actually exhausted, brother. I actually don't know how you guys do it, but Hitler hated Jews. He had people under him that were saying that they wanted Germany to be the ultimate power of Germany at that point. People were like, what the fuck is this guy? I'm not using common sense. I'm going to go towards the whole history. Gas chambers, killed people, kidnapped people, canceled people. That kind of act, if everyone else around him is saying what this dude is doing is terrible and should be stopped, and many people also share that same rhetoric. People are dying.
Many people
Hold on. I'm not going to put this long conversation because hold on. I condemn anyone being killed, number one. Even if they kill for the fact that no one with. Because someone is saying that the fact that I condemn the Jews being killed, I condemn Christians and Nigerians being killed currently, I condemn people being killed in Gaza. So it's all these things. If people have this kind of mentality of like someone is doing something very terrible and it was the cause of the death of millions of people, I'm immediately going to condemn that. If you're going to ask me a very common question, oh, why do you think they're down? Why did that, bro? Bro, it's common sense.
It's not common sense.
You're a terrible person. End it there. I'm not going to talk about this for 6 hours with you. I don't do that here.
Yeah, because you know you're wrong. You've been brainwashed. Because the only thing you've said so far is that other people have seen it like this, right? So since other people have seen it like this, I have to see it like this. And you've convinced yourself that every time you have that, I'll let you finish. Now you've convinced yourself. Every time you have this conversation, that is common sense, and everybody should have the same status quo answer. But this reality, bro. The victors write history, right? Not the people who are defeated.
No,
right? And there's gonna come a time, right, where your quote unquote status quo or common sense is not gonna be the common sense anymore, and we already see it happening, right? Because you have been brainwashed into the system.
I want to add what you were saying. Yeah, can everybody hear me clearly?
No, you're in the Matrix.
I'm in the Matrix. Okay, so anyway, let me try to correct that. But anyway, the victors write history. That's a fact. That's why it's called history.
That's not why that. No, that's not.
Okay, do you know study epistemology?
Low, bro.
That's not what is. No, bro, you're wrong about that.
Do you know study epistemology? How many languages do you speak?
Speak 3. But what about?
Wait, hold on, Eric. What are you saying is not the case? I think we got a challenge. What are you saying is not the case?
History. It is history because it means his story.
Wait, what do you say, Eric?
He said history is named history because it's his story.
Okay, you're saying that's not the case.
Yes, it's not.
All right, so let's see if he's right.
Okay, so everything's this one concrete. It's not. I can see people putting a lot in emojis, but it makes sense. So English is
you're right. It doesn't make sense.
No, I'm beginning now. I don't want to take too long. So English is obviously derived from Latin, Germanic languages, Greek also, and the different languages that it derived from. If you break down most words, words I'm speaking as I'm making this sentence and this argument, there's a root word to it. It's called epistemology. As you know, you're the intellectual, not me. And I don't think it's a coincidence that history spells out history if you break it down. That's all I have to say. I mean, you could just Google it. I haven't Googled it myself, but
So you're just saying that you pulled this out of your ass. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying about that.
No, I'm looking it up now. There's something there. There's a
Like
there's a grant. Oh, I'm still researching.
I don't know what the fuck he said.
All right. Listen, with the intellectual thing and all of that stuff, make sure you're not gonna be disrespectful to me. All right. Make sure. But if you are gonna gonna Google and research it. I haven't done it. I'm doing it spontaneously. I don't have a laptop in front of
Like
me.
anybody else notice he tried to play rank and say how many languages did you speak? Yeah, nigga.
The reason why I'm saying that is because it
All right, I got it. It is actually here. I got it. The word AI overview. The word history comes from the ancient Greek word historia, meaning inquiry, knowledge acquired by investigation or account of one's inquiries. So I just taken it an account of one's inquiries could be his story. There you go.
I think Greek is that. If he's saying, if he have a hate,
He said the etymology of his story. Right, so they named
his story.
No, he didn't, Derek. He said the epistemology of the word.
He meant etymology.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but you're still wrong, bro. Because he said it's one story.
No, epistemology. I said before, I made my point.
You're wrong, bro. No matter the way you slice it, you're wrong.
I'm not trying to spice it to be right. I think concrete just helped us to like
you didn't. Also, he stretched the fucking AI prompt, the response to try to give you a win, bro.
How could he have stretched it if it took him that deep?
Because your claim was that the reason why history is spelled that way, right, is because it came from his story, right? Yeah. And they just combined the two words, and that's we obviously see that's not true because
wait, is that what he really meant?
Prefix.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't get that.
No,
Yeah.
wait.
That word is story.
This is the last thing.
No, he's right. I'm gonna wait till the excitement died.
No, he just
Let me say one last thing.
No, I already said it. Go ahead.
Let me say my thing and then I'm gonna meet up. I'm not gonna. I'm high as fuck, so that's why I'm talking a lot more nowadays, right now. Alright, cool. So I came in on the end of somebody saying that history is written by the victors, right? So that being said, if it's written by the victors, I said in ancient times it's his. So historia in Greek, when you say historia, it means man. Just that's an ancient Greek to modern day Greek has not been dissected, and there's not been a correct correlation between the two. By the way, that's a fact. So if you grow up in Greece and you go to school there and you learn ancient Greek, people don't know exactly what it meant. There's different characters and there's a different way of phrasing everything that doesn't quite make sense. It's just in the record. But let me just put that aside for a moment. Historia means, I'm going to stick by this claim, it means his story. His story. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think this is not coincidences. Alright, then I'm wrong.
He's not wrong.
I put it into AI. Because I don't want you guys to fucking. His claim was that the reason his story is spelled his story is because it's his story. The etymology is his story. Right? They just combine the words. I'm like, obviously, no, that's not true.
If they anything about spelling.
Yes, he did.
No,
yes, the fuck he did. Come on, now we're gonna guess, bro.
Hold on. His story goes back to inquiry.
Get out of here.
Have a story, right?
Yo, concrete, don't tell me you're gonna do this, bro.
No, I'm saying
you're blocking the argument now. But go ahead, keep doing it. I'm waiting for your tire.
But anyway, let me just read it because look, he's wrong anyway. It says the idea that his story means his story is a myth or folk etymology. It sounds logical in modern English, but it has no linguistic basis. History comes from the ancient Greek word historia, meaning inquiry, knowledge gained by investigation, or records of the past. It has nothing to do with the English words his or story.
So what's a record of the past? It's a story, right?
Can I read mine?
Oh, wait.
Hold on. This might help you out a little bit, buddy.
Hold on. What is a record?
Hold on. We'll see. Hold on. Because this is what I have. This is my prompt. Hold on, bro.
Sorry.
If someone made,
I'm gonna show
oh my God, dude.
I swear to God. So
everybody else has been helping you. You're not helping yourself.
All right, man.
Okay, look. If someone made the claim that the reason why history is spelled the way it is because it's quote his story, is there any truth to this claim or the spirit of the claim?
the claim, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Trying to get this man out.
No. But check this out. What you said earlier is what I got too. It's a folk idea, clever sounding reinterpretation of the word spelling, the spelling, but linguistically incorrect, and then it goes into the true thing, and then it says the spirit of the claim, even though it's not etymologically true. The spirit that's saying it's metaphorically insightful. It points out that history is written and framed by people, often men, giving historical power. What we call history is a narrative shaped by perspective bias. So
thank you. It's an inquiry that would yield.
Yeah, but you're wrong to say that that's why it's spelled.
Okay. I'm off from. It's the inquiry that would confuse.
That's a full wrong.
Hold on. It's the inquiry that.
That's why we don't say good morning, because morning means morning and slang. I was trolling.
Because we're breaking our fast.
Exactly. So that's it.
No, good morning has nothing to do with the sadness and grieving of mourning.
Countries in Africa. He didn't know where Chad was. He didn't know the history of Liberia. He's made so many mistakes. This is a long line of fucking embarrassments.
You said a long line of embarrassment.
The more you talk, the more you embarrass yourself. So
I'm not embarrassing nothing, bro.
we're gonna let you continue. You're eventually gonna say something else incorrect.
Trust me. I'm not embarrassing nothing.
He just said that mourning means mourning as in sadness, and that's why people say grand rising. You didn't catch that? That's bad.
Congress gonna defend it though. So
That's bad. No, it's not a fact. It's lore. It's appealing lore to make people feel more victimized and oppressed. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
No.
Look, you're high. Can you just sit down somewhere and eat some Cheetos?
You're shy.
Aren't you hungry? Aren't you hungry? You don't have the munchies yet?
Don't be rude, bro.
Stop. Look, bro, you're the one who's dragging down the conversation with your low IQ folklore. It's weak.
I'm talking about folklore because folklore has been a big factor of human history. I'm not saying that I ain't by it. I'm saying that it's relevant for human history. We're talking about human drunk. Yo, by the way, everybody sounds drunk. I'm not saying it like I live by these rules. I'm saying it as I'm just putting it on the table that this has been something that has been relevant throughout human history for a long time. So I don't think it's something that is fair to take normal. The knowledge of our ancestors, the same way that everybody marvels at ancient Egypt and ancient civilizations, we should also marvel at the knowledge that they did put on the table from before that as well. So that's a part. You can't take the good and then pick out the bad too. You can't pick and choose. I think you have to marvel at everything. That's my point. I'm not saying that I live by it, but I'm saying that it's something that does exist. Do you understand that?
Yeah, Louis, you there?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that a group oppressed should be able to use deadly force in order to become unoppressed?
Yes, but it seems the international community has restraints on how that country can go about doing that.
Alright, so just a couple of examples. Slaves who rebelled during time of child slavery in the U.S. were they correct in killing the white people?
We could say yes. However, we could argue about the morality of killing women and children who aren't necessarily complicit, especially children. But largely,
what about the people in Gaza killed the Israelis?
We have to make the same argument.
Same answer.
And so same answer.
Yeah.
Alright. And what about the Russians that was fighting the Germans in World War II?
Probably same answer. Yeah.
U.S. when they bombed Japan? Same answer.
No.
Yeah, I'd probably say same answer. Well, U.S. when we bombed Japan, it's a really, really tricky kind of decision to make. I'm glad I wasn't the person in charge of making that decision, but I think ultimately is the decision we should have made.
I don't think it is. Okay, then why would it but okay then? All right, can we stick on it? Can everybody agree? Come on. Can everybody agree or disagree? Let me finish this train, bro. We at the last stop. Just let me get this out. Alright. So now that you say you're pretty consistent throughout the board when I asked all those questions, that those people who are oppressed, in order to get like some sense of freedom or fight back against their oppressors, they had to kill those people, and they wouldn't be wrong, like morally.
With certain considerations, I didn't say they wouldn't be wrong wholesale. Like I said, made the provision of like women and children being killed.
Yeah. Alright, so now that I want to ask you, right? Now that I ask you this, why was Hitler wrong when he did it?
Systematically killed women and children. What do you mean?
No, aside from them people, aside them talking about like.
Well, that's the main reason. And pardon me, but I don't like his structure of government was like completely anti-democratic.
Also, because it was anti-democratic.
And the killing of women and children. And men, innocent men, civilians.
The civilians of enemy countries?
No, civilians of his own country. And countries that he occupied at the time.
Yeah. Do you know, I'll say this conversation for later. I don't want to. Yeah.
No,
Wait an hour and a half. I get off at 7. I'm at a catering gig. I'm in the very Shabbat neighborhood. When I get up, I'm more than happy to have this debate with you and prove you wrong.
All right.
Well, why do you want to stop right now?
Because I can't talk about this in open meeting.
No, I'm saying everyone is
it's going to take a while, and I don't want to like fucking dominate the room.
Speaking codes. Speaking codes. But alright, cool. So the nuclear bomb thing you said, can you hear me?
Oh my goodness, unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, yes. Okay, fuck you, Monica. Because you're a lane switcher. 1 minute you're on the side, next minute you're being a traitor.
I'm a lane switcher.
I'm throw you in with the gas chambers.
A traitor. Wait, what? Are you a young Republican? You can't say that to me.
I'm not a Republican. My whole point that I've been trying to make is that Republican or Democrat. Yeah, let me go back to that. But the Republican and the whole political party thing, I don't believe in. I believe there's one mission that all politicians are trying to aim to, and they're all aspiring to that, and they just make a yo-yo effect of one thing is going this way, one thing's going that way, but it's all going in the same direction, and they all plan together anyway. But about the bomb, I don't think that was justified force, because at the end of the day, a lot of civilians and a lot of people that didn't get to experience this life and have this conversation in Clubhouse that will happen right now died. That's never right.
Would you rather a full-scale invasion of the Allied forces into the Japanese islands?
No, so that's a good point.
That's a dichotomy, and that's a true dichotomy. That was the other option.
No, it's a very true dichotomy, correct. But the reason why America got to from what I know, the reason why they got to the creation of the nuclear bomb before Germany did is because of the fact that they actually employed, or they put together more cooperative tons of work, and they wasn't excluding some of the most brilliant minds that they were out there with the vegan and fascism that Germany was employing. But before that, Germany was a house of technology with the tank technology and military. Yeah. So
there was during the war.
Yeah, and we're banking right now, and Germany's on top. I don't know what people are hearing about Germany, but Germany's on top right now. The biggest banks and the best agree that that's right. I think what America should have done.
Wait, why don't you agree?
Yeah, let me get into it. I think what they should have done was display them like what they do nowadays in 2025. Yeah, we have this mind, we have this, we have that. Just growl a little bit. You don't have to fucking bite. You understand? You don't have to kill.
You understand that the Japanese were determined to fight the war, and there were even battalions, like years later, that were found that were unaware they didn't have any communication that the war had ended, and they were fighting people still.
You're talking about Pearl Harbor.
No, I'm not talking about Pearl Harbor. I'm talking about Japanese soldiers.
Yeah, okay, in general. But what they could have done, so you know how on the southeast of Japan, there's a archipelago or a distribution of islands there. They could have dropped a bomb in between. There's a point, I don't know what point it is, but we could look on a map so we could maybe make a decision on that. We could have made it.
There's no guarantee the Japanese would have surrendered, and there's no guarantee that full military invasion of the islands wouldn't be necessary. Because if they don't surrender because they dropped the bomb in the middle of the ocean, they whoop.
Let me put it this way. So America, they didn't just produce one single bomb, did they? I'm pretty sure it was produced and it worked.
They produced two. Or three. They produced the one in where is it? Nevada? Where the fuck? New Mexico? New Mexico. They produced that one when they tested that. That was the initial one. That was the first time bomb to ever be deployed, I think.
Yeah, they still had the military base over in New Mexico.
And then they made Little Boy, Fat Man, Little Boy. I forget what it was called.
It was a Fat Boy, and then I think they did Little Boy after. But my point is that you could have dropped one bomb as a display of force, and the other one was there, and you still have the method. The method didn't die.
Like they could drop one and the Japanese said fuck it, they didn't kill it.
Can I explain this?
I think they dropped one and asked for surrender. The Japanese didn't surrender. They dropped another one.
Wait. I'm saying you didn't have to drop it on human life.
You absolutely did. You absolutely did.
All right then, bro.
Wait, you're talking about one day was being bombed by incendiary bombs every single day, and they did not care. And you said, we just got to drop a bomb in the ocean, and they're supposed to care now.
Wait. If we're talking about trade-offs, it's something I think something towards something upwards of 2 million people were projected to die in a Japanese invasion. Really quick,
I hate this talk.
Something upwards of 2 million people were projected to die. Why are you doing this, bro?
It's so pussy when people intellect.
Why are you doing this? Just let me get my argument out.
I hate it. I actually hate it.
You hate what? What do you hate?
When people try to intellectualize blood spill warfare. Yeah.
That's intellectual.
It's not black and white.
Warfare.
No. I'll give you 10K. Yeah, if you come to London and you go to one gangster somewhere and you put a blade in his knife and you look in his eye as he dies and he passes away, you do that. If you do that, then you have the right to call shots about multiple people dying.
There are reasons that we all hold that I feel like we all hold acceptable for loss of life that are more acceptable than other reasons for loss of life.
This is the reason why in America,
you don't have to be like children about
this. The thing I like about your country is that people say, oh, he can't be this person, that person, because they've never had any military experience. That's something that people in your country as a whole take as something that's important. So when somebody's talking about, yeah, we should drop a bomb and just eradicate masses, cities, people, children, men.
Yeah, but dropping the bomb was a trade-off. It's 250, 1,000, 750,000 lives versus 2 million.
This time in the world, 1945 was when World War II ended, yeah? That time in the world, before that, there was...
You're not listening, bro. You're not listening. I don't know what you're intoxicated on, but you're not.
Alright, intoxicated, alright, yeah, you hug it up. Don't talk about blood spill and death if you're not willing to take a life with your own two hands yourself.
I already have, bro. What's your point?
Alright. Look a man in his eyes and take it.
I already have. What's your point?
Yeah, alright. You haven't. I can tell
I definitely have.
You haven't.
Directly and indirectly.
Alright then.
I directly.
Man, don't be so fast to devalue human life if you're not willing to spill your own blood and have blood in
Wait, Luke, can you listen to me, Luke? Can you close your mic really quick and just listen to me for a few minutes? Yeah, thank you, bro. It's not really the same to compare it and say, oh, it's just needless bloodshed when we're talking about a trade-off of lives. If the bombs weren't dropped, Japan doesn't immediately surrender. We know this by their like general attitude in the war, how they waged war. They were fucking like they're killing each other in planes, for God's sake, because they didn't have enough soldiers, so they were just killing themselves. Like that's how fervent, and like there were battalions who like years after World War. Really quick. You said you would be quiet. Just shut up.
This doesn't make sense.
You said you'd be quiet, bro.
It doesn't make sense.
I can't do this.
Alright, I'm done. I'm being a dickhead. I cop up. My hands are up. No attitude, my bad. That's my fault. I'm being a dickhead. After you, Louis.
Do we need a new topic? Is that what?
Look, listen. Even after like the Emperor Hirohito signed the surrender, surrendered after he surrendered, there were still Japanese soldiers fighting. Like that goes to show you how people were like fervent. They weren't going to just quit. So if we don't drop the bomb on those people and we don't show Emperor Hirohito that yo, we mean business, and yo, we have these bombs, and yo, they're really fucking destructive, that war goes on and millions more die. I think it's a fucked decision, but it's kind of like a catch-22. It's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and if it means more Americans dying to the tune of millions, hey man, they brought us into this war. We didn't ask for it. We didn't tell them to go bomb Hawaii. They brought us into this war, bro. If you're not gonna stop, fuck it. We're gonna make you stop.
I think the difference of what you're talking about, you made a very valid point. The difference of what you're talking about is just money being spent. All right, so in Europe, it's very well taught that America came in at the latter end of the war. The end part, they came with aerial might, and they came with obviously nuclear bombs and things like that, right? So there wasn't so much of ground warfare with American troops. They were very hesitant to get engaged with the first part of the war, which is obviously makes sense. But let me go wrong with this. All right. All right. So when Hiroshima was dropped and the leaflets were thrown out to the citizens, warning them that there was a bomb about to be dropped, okay? What could have been done differently? Let's just say in a fairy tale hypothetical way, a bomb could have been dropped saying that this is for your commanders, your citizens, we have no war with you. Just like how the Viet Cong said to black Americans that we have no war with you. That's what they did, by the way. You could have dropped these letters off to the population in Japan and said, look, this is a display of our might. We're going to drop it off here. Say that the war's ended. You organize that the war has ended. Otherwise, we're going to actually drop one on you. Do you understand? That's just one technique. So let me just make one last point.
Again, you're assuming the Japanese would just...
Let me make one last point, please. Let's say, for example, I'm not me. I mean, a friend of mine. He's a G, and somebody owes him X amount of money or something like that. His family, the person that owes him money, their family are complete civilians. They don't know nothing about what their son is doing or anything like that. The easiest way, the brute force, the hammer way, is to just go straight to his house. Let's do debt collector. Let's do this and that. Let's execute brute force, violence, power. Or you could do a little bit more strategy, diplomacy, and different approaches to things. You have different weapons in arsenal. You don't have to go straight ahead. That's my point. I think the leaders of America are a lot smarter than me, and they're able to have made that decision too. That's my point.
Let me simplify. Japanese, like America drops nuke in middle of the ocean. Let's say Japanese like fleet sees this nuke. They go back to the emperor. They say, the emperor, they drop a very, very big bomb fuck out of here, go back and fight to the death, bro. Like it's like telling him about they have this massive weapon is different than 250 people, 250,000 people, or like whatever, 30,000 people are dead in Nagasaki right now. And we have you have to surrender. Like American means business. It's a different message. It's a completely different message. It's taken differently, and we know that we like even like a demonstration like because like there's no video, there's no footage of this really. Like we don't really get footage of wartime to like real footage of wartime like that. That's readily accessible to like Vietnam. So like it's word of mouth for the most part, and unless Emperor Hirohito sees this shit, he's probably not like the report of we have 30,000 people dead and Hirohito and a fucking Nagasaki is on fire right now. It's just a more potent message to deliver to get an actual end to the war.
I think
it just is.
You kind of underestimating this.
That's retarded, bro. He said, why didn't they use more diplomacy? They did. They exhausted it.
Don't call me retarded.
Channel here, man. It's like they literally dropped the bomb. They literally dropped the bomb.
Shut up.
Retarded. And they asked them to surrender, and they said no after dropping the bomb.
Yo.
Right. It took a whole second one, and probably a couple hundred thousand.
I don't need a black guy. Shut up.
Just for them to surrender. What you don't realize is that these people are not just people to give up easily. They were literally forming.
That's the whole point.
They were forming.
You gotta let them speak. You gotta let them speak. You're the retarded one. You're the retarded one. You never been a war, bro. You never seen any. You never had a house invaded. You never invaded a house. You're a fucking civilian. You're a civilian.
You got to go on mute, bro. I don't know what your issue is, bro.
You would have been one of the people that was killed.
Just go on mute, bro.
Bro, come on.
You're retarded.
Come on, it's not that many people. Don't do this, bro.
You're wrong.
I'm gonna move you. Just chill.
He shouldn't have jumped out.
So, anyways, right, what he doesn't realize is these people don't give up easily.
Is that the third warning?
They're willing to sacrifice their entire lives to fight for the country, emperor, right? These are the people that were forming entire army groups out of women and children to fight the Americans that were going to land in Japan, right? This is a place where when America invaded Okinawa, which is part of Japan, the first island, and then Japanese island, right? There was a garrison. So you gotta let me finish. Exactly. So on Okinawa, you gotta let me finish. My point. You gotta let me finish. Bro. There was a garrison of 30,000 Japanese soldiers, right? And when the Americans they literally now we got another nigga interrupting. Alright, when the Americans invaded Okinawa, they literally had to kill every last one of those 30,000 soldiers because they would not surrender.
You're so retarded.
They literally of the 30,000. You gotta let me finish, bro.
Yo, Luke, this your first one in, bro. Come on, you forcing my hand, bro.
Yeah, so of the 30,000 soldiers on the island, right? There was only one soldier out of the 30,000 who survived. And you know how many Americans it took to kill the 30,000? 60,000 Marines. And of the 60,000, 35 were wounded or killed. Right? So you just put that in perspective, right? The math. They did the math. The general.
This is your second warning. There's 3 strikes, bro. I don't know if you know about baseball in the UK, but there's 3 strikes.
You're an idiot.
So you gotta let me finish. Alright, so it's like the generals did the math, right? They estimated on the low end, the very low end, that in order to invade Japan, they would need at least 6 to 8 million soldiers, right? And it would be 5 million on the low end in casualties.
Right?
Right, so if you're the president and you're looking at, hey, the cost-benefit analysis of invading Japan, you're like, hey, we got these 2
stepped away to have a cigarette. Eric, I think you brought up the best point. Most people that think that the nuclear bomb was excessive really need to go watch the fire bombings of Okinawa and Tokyo. Watch those videos. We took videos of what we did, and we played it for the Japanese. We also had radio broadcasts that would play on Japanese radio of a Japanese woman telling them to surrender, that the war is over, it's going to be a bad time. We tried our best. We burned down their capital city with firebombing. And it's kind of disrespectful. I'm done. I'm pro-Trump now. I'm supporting, like, fuck Europe. Because if they're teaching in, British schools or European schools that we didn't aid in the ground invasion, well, the invasion of Normandy, D-Day, and that entire operation is why that we got a foothold in Europe, because you guys laid down your arms and took that German dick.
Thank America and Canada for that.
America, Canada, and Russia from the eastern border. If it wasn't for our troops storming those beaches, dying, 1 out of 3 of them died before they hit the fucking beach. And these boys fighting in Belgium and Netherlands, you guys would be speaking fucking German. So, all praise to the U.S. military, bro. That's
type on any AI, America did what would you You type it.
The British did nothing. You guys sat in bunkers and got bombed, Luke.
I really respect you. You're very, very, very
respect
smart.
you too.
You're
kind of acting out of character, man.
Yeah, bro. This is a characteristic of you, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't care about what characteristic you think I'm a multifaceted man, okay?
You know what? I'll grant you that.
So, basically, you're very, very intellectually book smart. Just type in on ChatGPT or AI. Did America during the World War II late? Just type it in. I haven't done it myself.
Hi, Dima.
41, my friend.
I haven't done it myself, so you do it.
41. I'm working. I can't type it in. I can go
Okay,
off
I'll do it.
base knowledge.
I'll do
I
it
can
for
go
you.
off my base knowledge because I'm a typical American who loves World War II. It's my Roman Empire.
I'm not anti-American. Okay, so look. Monica, how do you do the thing? Okay, you have to share the link, right? Where you shared the ChatGPT thing before she did that.
You want to share a ChatGPT link?
Yeah,
at the top.
My prompt is not catered to me. This is just you could type it. Like I said, I offered you to type it in yourself. Okay, so I typed in, did America join World War II late? Yes, the United States joined World War II relatively late, officially entering December 8th, 1941.
Yeah, buddy, because we have constraints like our president can't just be like, we're at war.
Began in Europe, September 1939.
I think the room can also say that I said 41. America joined the war in 41. You guys were
I'm not saying you were right.
guys were getting bombed for 2 years. There was no ground invasion of any sort done or retaliation done. France fell, and that's when the U.S. was like, okay, this is getting...
France fell. Do you remember Dunkirk when England was embarrassed and had to withdraw from France?
English troops couldn't make a forward advance to fight German troops if it wasn't for Operation D-Day. If it wasn't for Market Garden, if it wasn't for the Battle of the Bulge, there would be no reason for the British Navy to take over
Talking about UK schools, you guys need to check out your USA academia. You guys in university and all this stuff, I know that you guys are very smart, intellectual guys. I'm not. Okay? I'm not claiming to be. But what I'm trying to say is, 1941, America joined. World War II began in 1939.
Okay.
You guys said that America joined when ground invasions began. Ground invasions began in 1939.
That's not what we said. That's not what we said.
No, he said if it wasn't for Normandy and D-Day, like the Allied troops wouldn't have us as strong as a foothold on the European continent as we did.
Alright, at the end of the day, my ancestors and my
we also rebuilt all of Europe for free. And
listen,
no one ever talks
I'm
about
not British. I'm British. I'm not English. My grandparents and my parents, they moved here from Africa. I'm only saying the facts.
Same point, bro. We saved the entire world.
Okay, so God bless America. It's just a fact.
No,
Not only did we save some time, bro, we literally.
And don't you forget it, Lord.
Imagine how great it would be to have like no need for a visa to travel to Europe as an American. Imagine how great it would be for me to go to France and live in France and not have to pay an extra tax because I'm an American.
Because we saved your fucking cheese-eating, surrendering ass fucking country.
Every time I have to go to France and spend extra money for bullshit, right? My grandpa fought in your continent, right? My grandpa fought in North Africa.
Are you talking about Africa? Or are you talking about Europe?
Getting patriotic right now.
My grandpa fought
Here we are.
for the French Foreign Legion.
Oh, really?
With African troops. Yes, and I'm an American, and I could proudly
What's
say
your
that the
husband?
French Foreign Legion.
Are you French?
Foreign Legion. No, I'm not. I'm Armenian. But the French Foreign Legion was the only stand. Haide is Arabic and Turkish actually, which is kind of.
Wow, that's crazy. You just spoke Turkish to my guy. That's crazy.
So
This is crazy.
You're gonna teach me this. This is what's crazy. The Balkans.
What do you mean I'm gonna teach you this? I've been living this life. Crazy.
Because they are Muslim.
Listen, if I go to Serbia, if I go to North Macedonia, if I go to Turkey, if I go to Albania, if I go to Greece,
Nah, bro, it's tweaking in a big way.
what do you mean I'm tweaking?
You just tweaking, bro. You just got the motor mouth syndrome right now.
What religion do they practice in all those countries?
Guys, if you don't want us to be rude to Luke, we really should pass the mic around.
Alright, you know.
I just want to finish my point. Right? So my grandfather fought for the French. But the French were able to do
He's still doing it. He's still doing it.
shit if it wasn't the U.S.
French
The
Legionnaires.
Foreign Legion. The French Foreign Legion.
That's like
Les gens étrangers, the white patch.
Legion étrangère is like the special forces of.
Yes, he was in North Africa, he was in Morocco, he was in Libya, he was in the Sahara Desert. He fought next to U.S. soldiers, the U.S. What was it called at the time? Armored divisions, where the Foreign Legion could actually get back to fighting, or else they were stuck with your SAS chaps.
Look at that. This is the point I was trying to deplete. The whole thing you're saying about. No, the whole thing I'm trying to deplete is that you're saying your SAS. I'm saying it as a neutral spectator, okay? I'm not.
Can't be neutrality. It was a world war.
I'm not the one that is being spouted right now, okay? Just trying to say the facts. Maybe you disagree with it, but anyway,
Anybody else talk about?
America.
Yo, hey, Louis, I played.
I mean, I'm so glad that
on Tennessee and Alabama, bro. I played Tennessee to win. Think they don't.
I'm glad
I don't watch college football.
What, bro? You know.
Bro, I don't
I'm
watch
glad
college
everybody was
football, bro.
entertained. I'm gonna leave now. God bless everybody.
Alright, bro.
Alright.
Hey, Luke.
Love you all. Bye bye.
See you later, bro.
Fuck you, mate.
And that right, bro. You wanker, fucking bloody wanker. Get your wanker.
Yo, twin, yo, slime.
And then right, get the GT right in there, right, and do the right.
Yo, twin, what's in my mud, twin?
Give me my prop right, and he's prop,
Y'all niggas.
Blood pudding, bro, yeah.
Anyway, love you all. God bless you.
Bye, Luke.
And yeah.
Come back soon. Why y'all hating on Luke for?
Nah, we're not hitting on Luke. He was just a little.
Nah, fam. Hey, Dawn. What do we do? We weren't hating on Luke. Luke was hating on us.
Beamer, what do you think about Hiroshima? You think it was unjustified to drop those?
That's a
Absolutely agree. Do you feel this silence? This is called intellectual fatigue. This is when you get so tired of explaining things to people that don't want to listen. This is actual intellectual fatigue. Alright, you know, so once you're tired, somebody bring the topic up. I can't, that might work.
Listening fatigue. Okay.
My bad. I'll check on my bets. See what we're working on. Ah, shit, bro. Fuck.
Hello?
Well, now we need a topic. What do y'all think of Jasmine Crockett?
And I think Jasmine Crockett is a firecracker.
Yo,
I got a good topic, guys. I'm here to bring back to life. Bring the room back to life or something. Alright, look, so who determines good and evil?
We already had that conversation, bro.
No?
Ew, and Eric says, like, we already had it and figured it out. No, basically, or unless he's saying, like, we already had it, as it's been spoken about for the
Literally every day for like 3 months almost, yeah.
And there's no answer to that. It's just whatever. It's just like might makes right.
But why not?
Because they're reifications. People can't even define justice. We can't define. There's no good definition of justice.
The point is, it's right?
There's no good definition of good.
I think if you kill a cat, you're evil, but in some places you gotta kill a cat to eat, so you know it's all the eye of the beholder.
Well, I mean, like, you have to define what evil is. You can't give an example of what evil is.
At the end of the day, it's conversation, right? No?
Yeah, it's one of the best. It's one of the best discussions that can be had because it takes a lot of work.
I fucking hate you so much.
I actually have a question for the mods. Did that punk ass Gustavo ever tell us who the tertiary thermometers are? We're still guessing. I had put my nominations up, but I'm sure they were ignored.
I would like to be a mod.
I didn't even go
Bean, and I make a pledge that I'll only ever mod one person ever. That's it. I don't do anything else with the green bean. Just one very specific person.
You say anarchist, communist. That's not true, anarchy. Not true.
Yeah, that's bullshit. You don't know what anarchy is. You still will sit here and talk about anarchy and not have anything researched for us. That's disappointing because you're smart. You'll still sit here and talk shit about anarchy, talking to other people, filling them with bullshit about anarchy, your own made-up definition. Lord gosh, you gotta stop that.
Or what? I mean, what's gonna happen, huh?
What's gonna happen is you're honestly, you're going to be identified as someone who's not any type of advocate or friend to anarchy, right? That's just what it is. If you really truly believe in it, you're harming the idea and the concept of it.
I mean, I may be harming the pacifist versions of it, correct?
No, there's no pacifist. There's no pacifist versions of it. It's what anarchy is. And what you and your made-up version of a bunch of words that you put together don't even make sense. If there's no societal that can even be put together.
complete contradictory ideas that you throw together and say, oh, look, this is anarchy. No, that's idiocy, Lord Matt.
Oh, that's a bar. That's not anarchy. That's idiocy.
For all the criticisms, anarchy have the same criticisms about libertarianism. I think it's effectively the same thing. It's idiocy.
Yeah, well, that people could say that too, but we're not both fighting for the same. We're not both fighting for libertarianism, right?
Not fair. You could like hash out. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, you guys. I think she's criticizing anarchy. Lord Nas, what do you?
Look, at the end of the day, Bima, pretty much, ultimately, every forms of anarchy coexists in its own way. Now, obviously, the communist version of it would probably exist in my hypothetical version of it. It's just with yours, it's, from my perspective, it's a little bit more passive. It's not true anarchy, because anarchy doesn't have any form of laws or regulation to restrict you as the individual to do whatever you want without any forms of restrictions. It would also restrict corporations or other groups that would be able to produce technology and anything else that would really further advance society within a couple years.
Is liberalism the best way for is libertarianism the easiest way for liberals to consider conservative ideas?
Girl, I don't even understand any of that.
I didn't hear that one.
Is libertarian ideas the easiest way for liberals to consider the values of conservative ideas?
Yeah, I think there's overlap.
There's overlap, but libertarianism essentially is not really, because conservatism is more related to liberalism than it is libertarianism. It's just an offshoot of liberalism.
Okay.
Libertarianism is an offshoot of liberalism. Is that what you mean?
No, conservatism, conservatism.
Well, conservative is kind of like the opposite of liberty.
I don't think so, because in libertarianism, it's still like a focus on limited government, and the libs like big government. So I just feel like by that, they're not really interested in those ideas.
No, but
Liberal as in prioritizing individual rights over collective and strong adherence to capitalism, capitalist ideals. That's like classicalism.
Classical liberalism. But classical liberals like small government, actually. They don't like big government. It's where conservatives get the idea for minimalist government.
right. Like a lot of times people interchange liberal with progressive, so they're sort of different things.
They're different ideals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like the opposite of conservative is not liberal. The opposite of conservative is progressive. So like in political theory, conservative is like, okay, these changes will happen over time, let's not push them. Where classically progressive is say, we need to have the government do things in order to facilitate the change that we want to see. Ultimately, both conservative and progressive want to see the same end state, but it's how you get there.
And they do so within a liberal framework. They both generally adhere to the same things classical liberals are.
individual freedom kind of stuff. And that's why when you have the blue hairs, it's like, you know, that's like literally a conservative idea to say you can't have the blue hairs, because it's about the liberty to have the blue hair. Like, we should be defending that as a conservative.
Right, that's why, because a lot of conservatives today are liberal. They're not really consistent conservative. But when you use that F word, they get freaked out.
Hypothetically, what type of ideology would solve the whole world's problems from most of everyone's perspectives?
I just wish we got rid of money and started trading rice and animals again.
Voluntarism, Lord Boss, look it up. Like, really, have a conversation.
I know about that, but there's no, not everyone's gonna fucking do it just because, like, oh, it's just for the great areas of the country. We don't need to fight.
Well, unfortunately, Lord, everything's driven by money. So all you need to do is get rid of the money. Unfortunately, every political ideology is driven by money. Everything's driven by money. So I think that's the main issue we have. If we don't get rid of the money, we're not going to get rid of these ideologies and the way of controlling us, to paying these ideologies and paying these lobbyists and paying all this shit. All right, Sabola, it's okay. It's okay. All right, it's okay.
When people don't have money, they want to give away money. It's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that, yeah, I think that's called being humble. I think once people get too much money,
right?
you think, oh, what, when you don't have money, you give it away?
No, like when you can't give away something you don't have. Like when a lot of people have a lot of money, and the people that don't have any money want to give away our money. That's a problem.
Oh, yeah, of course that's a problem. Yeah. Yeah, but we also pay into bullshit small. We can't not admit that. But we buy stupid shit as people in this country. We're spending money on pointless shit for no reason, just to be cool or as a trend. So I think we have to fix our mindsets, just as individuals, and not even stick to a political ideology. Maybe stick to just being people. I don't know.
But then that would, if I, well, not hive mind, but I mean, it would be more of a collective, and I mean, everything, clothing, there wouldn't be any creativity, I mean, I don't know, from my perspective, there wouldn't be a lot of improvements, really, if we're just going to stick to a collective idealism.
Well, that's the point, is like collective is not going to be all one thing. That's the problem, is that these political ideologies, they try to put us into one box. I feel like that's what makes it sort of more of a collective, a generalized ideology, to where there is no creativity. You have everybody believing in their own thing and not being put in a box, so that we can fight each other on over these boxes that we put ourselves in, that the government sets us up to put ourselves in. You know, I feel like it's all a manipulation tactic to keep us, divided. I don't see anything wrong with not aligning with the political ideology and just sticking with what serves you.
Isn't that a product of having an independent mind?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't like a social construct or like a collective mindset of certain things going against our nature?
No, a hive mind would go against our nature. Like, literally, if you're working in a hive and everyone's doing a part of the full job, whatever that is, yes, that goes against individualism. But just being in a collective or, sort of working together for something doesn't necessarily inhibit creativity. If you have extra time.
Like, let's say 20% of the people, the smartest people in the country, they actually have a clear vision on where they want to go. The other 80%, they really can't understand it, so they're just on for the ride.
Well, but think of it as like an art collective. That's a bunch of artists that are all there to make art, whatever that is. But individually, they're all going to make different types of arts. There's no rules on what kind of art that they can make.
It's all like kind of like that,
where they're creating this song, but there's so many roles into making that song, and they all have their individual input on it. It is a collective, but it is with an individual skills. So it's not like everyone's doing the same.
So when people are listening to let's just use your example here, music. When people start listening to all these different varieties of music, and then they start picking what actually, what affect or relates to them, and they start picking favorites, isn't that the actual listeners that's kind of like creating this value system in between artistry?
Of course, we did the same with politics, making, the idea of these ideologies so important, so valuable, that's all we identify as in the States. Like, oh, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. So I feel like it's like the same shit, to where we succumb to that.
Next number.
You like?
Where have you been?
Marside, Marston, Peckham, Camberwell.
Yeah, I've been to them loads, so I've got family there,
Okay.
so what's your point?
So I'm.
Have you been to Toxteth? Have you been to West Derby? Have you been to Toxteth?
Huh? You said what?
For a long time. Like, you said you had to leave. So, if you're not on stage to finish, why don't you just leave then instead of being a chat bandit?
Somebody else try to bring up Courts. I don't know why he doesn't want to bring up.
Or you might have to leave the room and come back.
He says in the chat he didn't want to come up.
Oh.
Say that again?
I think he said that he wanted to come up.
He said I'm good, I didn't raise my hand in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been kicking people out early, left and right. I guess with all the